Hello, Internet, and welcome to the next installment of... what did I call this? Oh, right, this is the Enter the Dungeon English and the Elvish series.
Lovely.
Starring my good friends from over in Britannia, Jake and Tim.
Hey.
Oh, Britannia.
Yep. Unfortunately, Jared will not be joining us for this session unless he randomly notices that we're playing like an hour in and wants to join.
Which he probably will.
That'd be fun.
I mean, it would be very in character for HTML just to turn up and be like, hey, I'm joining now.
And suddenly, right in front of you guys, an astral portal opens up and in walks Hold the Mayonnaise the 50th.
It was the 50th, goodness me. Wait, if we kill him, does that mean there's a 51st appear?
Yes, that's how the generations work.
What? Maybe he already has a kid. Who knows?
Maybe. Maybe indeed.
Maybe that's where he's gone.
Yes.
Just take care of his kids while we come around playing music and being Scottish.
Yep.
Oh, hi!
So, speaking of being Scottish, what do you guys remember from last time now that the two of you are together? And I asked you both this separately before we started. So let's see if between the two of you, you can get a somewhat cohesive recap.
Oh, I don't want a full recap. Oh, God.
Well, we immediately turned up at the party.
Yes.
Didn't we? So it was the Elvish Prince's graduation party, because it was 50 years old.
Yeah.
I believe. Something like that.
Yes.
And I was immediately recognised. I played a jaunty ditty with one of my feet down the road. I remember this because I listened to the opening.
Okay.
But beyond the opening,
that makes sense.
I can't remember too much. But beyond that, we entered the party.
Yep.
And weren't we searching around for naughty stuff? Because
we were
we were there as
if
security.
anyone suspicious or something like that.
Yeah.
I think
Just because we assumed there'd be suspicious people at this party, although it could have been a completely normal party.
But we ended up fighting some people off, didn't we?
Yeah.
Who was just... Oh! Because there was a guy who ran into the woods, didn't he?
Yes.
Yes. So eventually, somehow, we left the party, maybe after we fighting some people, and we followed this guy into the woods, and we got to... It was a castle or a tower or something, a dungeon. You know, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I think it was a turret just in the woods.
Yeah.
The description.
Yeah.
And after entering there, I think maybe there was a bit of light combat, maybe some gremlins here, there, and everywhere, but we ended up going to a library with a big eye. And
yes.
We fought it, didn't we?
Yes.
The spectator.
Yep.
Yes, you call it. Yes.
Yeah.
Not the potator.
Just checking just to make sure it wasn't Spectre, because that would have been completely different. But yes, it was a spectator.
It was the potator.
Potator.
Massive
if it was
potato.
a spectator, I'd go on about I'd go on about the spectator and forum theatre and how it's such a viable tool for combat.
So it's either a spectator, or a potato, or a CS:GO spectator that was just swearing out in Russian.
Oh, lovely.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Anything
By
else?
the way, he was a big eye, just floating around.
Anything else you want
He
to
did quite a lot of damage. He was quite hard to fight, I remember.
Yes.
He was the boss, basically.
No, that would make sense. That's what I've got from my memory. There's not much else I remember at this time.
I don't remember how it ended, really. After the fight.
After the spectator, you guys solved a puzzle to get a door open.
Oh, yeah, that was the hard door opening thing.
Then you met the creepy guy from the party.
Yeah.
Made quick work of him. And then reported back to Prince Alessandro that the mission was complete.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
good.
Yep, we're going to pick back up. It's been a few weeks since those last events, and you guys have been able to stay at the castle as honored guests.
Oh, lovely.
Hooray!
Now, there's a lot of kind of
right?
drinking and stumbling around in my room late at night, Drinking, stumbling around late at night, kind of swearing blindedly about some old role I played 15 years ago.
What you don't realize is that they actually gave you the cheapest wine that they have in stock, and just told you it was the good stuff.
Do we have full health now, out of interest?
Oh, yes. It's been a few weeks, so you guys are fully recuperated. About a week into your stay, though, your good friend HTML, he caught a boat out of there. He had to return to his ancestral homeland.
Oh.
Yeah, because he had
we had a very emotional goodbye with him.
Yes, he said that he had received a letter and that he needed to go be with his family.
Yeah, I played a fiddle on the docks to play him out.
Yep.
And watched
Frodo was leaving at exactly the same time.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, on the same boat, actually.
Yeah, on the same boat.
The Undying Lands, that's where they were headed.
Yep. So, yeah, what have you guys been doing for the past few weeks, then?
Well, let's think. Probably weapon cleaning, because Farren's boring like that.
Okay,
exploring the castle, possibly slightly illegally. Not with any permission or anything. Checking out the grounds. Pretty serious stuff.
Okay, make an investigation check, and well, that'll determine how far you were able to, what you were able to find.
Right, what dice is that?
That's going to be a D20.
6. Yeah. 16.
Yeah, with a 16, you're able to poke around for a while. None of the guards really stop you because they know that you're allowed to be there, and but you do end up finding in an old part of the castle a staircase that leads down to what appears to be an abandoned dungeon, and I mean dungeon in the medieval sense, not in the D&D sense.
Right. Great.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be in use currently. But yeah, you're just I guess you just sort of look around and see a bunch of cells everywhere.
Yeah. Pretty dungeon stuff.
Yep. So say that again?
So, Jake, actor, is such a renowned performer, has been stumbling around drunkly in his room now and again, but also has been thinking about what his next artistic project's going to be. Once you're quite old as he is, he's in his 40s at this point. He's kind of thinking about where he wants his career to go, and he had a brainstorm in the middle of the night as he was looking out across the bay from the view of the castle parapet, with the moon kind of in the sky. He had this idea that he would go and interview people, so he's been going around interviewing some of the guards and some of the people who work there to see if he can write a play about what it's like to live uptown in a castle. So he's going to call it Uptown Castle. This play he's writing, Upton Castle.
Interesting.
So that's what Jake Actor's been doing, getting his head down doing some writing.
Yeah, well, one of the guards, he tells you about how before he worked there, he used to work downtown at this monastery. Where a bunch of monks worked. Well, they sometimes called it
monastery.
Yeah, monastery. Sometimes they refer to it as the abbey. The downtown abbey.
Yeah.
For crying out loud.
Yep. Yeah, he says, not really much happened there, but everyone acted like everything was a big deal, very dramatic, but nothing interesting ever really happened.
Oh, lovely. Well, that's the way to do it, isn't it? Just have nothingness going on for a couple of
That immediately seems suspicious.
Pardon?
That immediately seems suspicious, like he's hiding something. I think drug bust. I think that's what happened there.
Quite right. The Downton Monastery is a drug monastery.
Yes,
they were
massive.
Brewing a bunch of dangerous potions.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had to send in a bunch of blink dogs to sniff the place out.
Oh,
of course.
Yeah.
Standard protocol.
Yeah. And so after a few weeks, the prince is talking to the two of you and says, "So tell me, how familiar are you guys with this part of the country?"
Well, although I've heard about it numerous times, there have been several wonderful books written about this part of the country. I've never quite travelled here myself. It's not a place that I've had the honour of visiting before your invitation. Although I try my hardest to familiarise myself with all aspects of your culture, it has not been a privilege I have yet had to perform here, as much as I will be planning to with a new play I've been writing, which I'll tell you about later, I'm sure, when it's more put together. But I'm sure you'll really appreciate watching it, and of course you'll get a special mention at the end.
Well, what I'm about to tell you might give you some material for your play. You see,
Oh, lovely.
the mountain range to the north of us, as you of course know, is known as King Gorman's Wall. Yes, it's called that because in this kingdom's history, there was once, the great King Gorman, who was able to defend off this, the area between the mountain range and the sea from invaders, and since it kept him safe, it was referred to as his mighty wall for the duration of his reign.
Oh, yeah.
But the important thing that you need to know is that even though it is right now springtime, for a few weeks out of the year during this time, it becomes very, very snowy in the villages in those mountains.
Well, one could imagine, being so high up in such cold temperatures.
Well, not even towards the top of the mountains, but even just towards some of the lower areas.
Oh, quite, indeed.
Yes, it's a magical frost that's brought about every year.
A magical frost?
Yes.
How do you know it's magical?
Well, because it only seems to affect, that a very specific area on the mountain lines.
At this point, I'm furiously scribbling notes down. Do you know who has caused this magical frost?
Yes.
Ah, who might that be?
Well, we believe it has some sort of influence from the gods, but it only seems to be affecting settlements between about 1,000 and 2,000 feet up the mountains.
I whisper to Jake, there seems to be a lot of superstitious twaddle.
I kind of give a Farren a slap round the back of the head and whisper, just kind of, he needs to shut up.
Okay.
So keep going, dear sir.
Yes, and since, this is such an annual occurrence, they're normally quite well suited for it, and they even have a holiday that they celebrate during the middle of the annual frost.
Oh!
Let me guess, it's called Christmas.
Christmas? No.
Well, wherever would you come up with that idea, Farren? Goodness me, the nonsense you spurt out with one good play about it.
The winter solstice, that is what it'll be called.
Well, no, the winter solstice is when winter begins.
Well, yes. Goodness, Farren, sometimes you do yourself a disservice.
I'm just messing with you, pal.
Oh, ha ha ha, very funny. Keep going, dear Prince. I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Okay. Well, I suppose in common, it translates best to the Festival of the Midspring Frost.
Of course it does, yes. The Festival of the Midspring Frost. The Festival of the... Yes, lovely. One can do wonders with that. Maybe shrink it down to the mid-frost, or the spring frost even. Or spring frostmas. Yes, keep going. Sorry, I've interrupted
Spring frostmas, yes. Anyway, they celebrate this by recognizing that, in that, time of freak incidents of nature, they all need to bond together and care for each other. So to celebrate this festival, they all give each other gifts as a symbol that, they need to be willing to give freely if they are to survive, right?
Yes, that makes quite sense.
Seems quite nice.
We've received word that in one of the villages, they were recently attacked by a string of bandits that stole a lot of the presents that they were going to give to each other. And this is the third of such reports that we've received.
Of course. Well, why else would they do anything else? These bandit types. Would you get me at them with my sword and my eldritch blast?
Yes.
Yeah, we've dealt with these guys a lot. There'll be no trouble after we've dealt with them.
You say that they would turn out to be more trouble than they're worth. But alas, would you like us to go on to render some assistance?
Yes, that would be very helpful if the two of you could go investigate.
Of course.
Is there any reward?
Oh, come on. But yes, that is a prudent question.
Well, yes. the crown can compensate you for your efforts.
Of course, it can. Farren wants to
How much are you
Oh,
paying?
of course.
I suppose that depends on how good of a job you do in saving the villages.
Quite.
Alright, well, I need to stretch my legs anyway, so we'll be heading off.
Yeah.
Which town will we be heading to? Do you have a name, or is that a couple of towns we need to investigate?
Just a second.
I'm at this point kind of scratching my beard, running through ideas in my head. I assume Farren knows exactly what he's doing, being such a warrior. Whereas
I'm
I'm
just
kind
hopping
of
from foot to foot, sort of desperate to slay these bandits.
I noticed that and go, "Oi, Farren, are you Do you need to relieve yourself, sir?"
No, apart from I need to shed some blood.
I shed some blood. Ah, of course, perhaps one should go shed some blood in the toilets before you shed some blood in front of us all and get it all on our shoes, I know you
Jake, I'm
jumped
not
very
going to lie,
heavily.
but that's not healthy. If that's happening, you should get that seen to by a medic.
Yes.
Oh, no,
Are you
I
bleeding when you use the facilities? That is not a good thing, Jake.
but I assumed you meant when you said shedding blood that you were perhaps just vomiting extremely after a heavy night out.
No,
That's not
I've not
healthy
got to
either.
that point yet, although I don't doubt that it will happen eventually.
Well, yes.
My friend, if
I
you're
mean, we all
drinking
know.
to the point regularly that you throw up blood, then that is also a very large concern.
I think it might be the wine
Indeed.
being quite red, Not none of this blood. But yes, perhaps we should move on.
Unless you've had a Bloody Mary, in
lovely.
which case that's probably going to happen.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's why you don't
Query?
do any of those. That blood yellow.
Query, are Bloody Marys made with actual blood in England?
No, unfortunately not. We're not that far ahead. No, it's just tomato puree, whereas in Italy it is actual blood.
Oh, lovely.
Whose?
Probably. I made that up. That's not actual. Don't go hating on the Italians. I don't know.
No, we're not hating on them. We're wishing we could be there.
Actually, he's saying that. I think the Aztecs might have done that. But anyway, we're getting off topic, I think.
Anyway, yes. Just need you to investigate the villages of Norburn, Falkret, and Holcote. That's where we got these reports
Norburn?
from.
Falkret, and what was the final one there, sir?
Holcote.
Halpert.
Holcote.
Whole coat.
Yes.
I wish I was wearing a whole
I'm
coat
assuming
myself.
Jake knows how to spell these.
Oh no, but goodness me, are they really going to have it written down, the villagers there?
No.
Well, exactly.
Probably just need to go to...
Right.
Probably just need to go to Norburn, and they can tell you what they saw from there.
Let's go to Holco first then. Little joke there. We'll head to Norburn, of course.
That's fine then.
Oh.
Will you be taking a cart, or will you provide us with some horses from your stables?
Oh, yes, I suppose that we might be able to provide something. Are you two not going to walk then?
I mean, I'll be fine with that, but if this guy here can't manage the journey, then that's fine.
I mean, if you prefer horses, I suppose we could provide that.
To be fair, I don't actually know how far away anything is, so...
How about a sled?
Well, yes.
How about... Farren, how about you pull Jake here on a sled?
That's not a bad idea.
Oh, I found actually there's a particular mitten you can buy to keep your face warm in cold weather. It's a kind of a red bobble you can wear on your nose, and it's particularly useful for people pulling sleds. I've heard about this, Farren. Maybe you should wear one.
I'm not drunk enough for your trickery quite yet. I think I'll wear a balaclava, though. Balaclavas are nice.
Yeah, lovely.
Also, it makes us look more intimidating when we find the bandits.
Yes.
Well, let's set off on our walk. I am perfectly
Yes, off we go.
So, wait, you don't want horses then? It is a 50-mile journey.
Well, this is why I suggested the horses, you see, Farren here.
I didn't know how far away it was. Like 50 miles, we'll need a horse, I think.
And then they can say no if it's close. I would love some horses if that's quite all right.
Yes, please.
Let me just see whether I've got any camping gear as well.
Wait, then he refers to a map on the wall and says... Oh, no, wait, actually closer to 25.
I have a wolf called Penfold, according to my sheet.
You have a what?
We can ride the wolf.
You have a wolf?
Wolf's done nothing so far. I've had him for 2 campaigns, done nothing. Absolutely nothing. Most useless wolf.
Actually, he refers to his map again and says, oh wait, actually it might be closer to 25 miles.
Well, we still like some horses, if that's quite all right. So 25-mile hike is a long way to
Yeah.
do in a day.
And, Farren, will you be taking your wolf with you, or should he just stay in the wolf pen?
I think he should stay, to be fair, because those bandits, they often use crossbows and stuff, and they'll probably get hit in the crossfire.
Ah, okay then.
Stupid, Matt. I didn't say that. He's a lovely dog, really.
Just don't forget to feed him his venison twice a day. He's very particular about his venison.
Or alternatively, just let him loose in the royal woods that we find there.
Yes. So just make sure there are no maids around. He often enjoys chasing the maids. He doesn't need the maids. He just enjoys chasing them.
You know,
I'm
not going to say anything more.
These feels like instructions that you should have given me when you first started staying here. If your wolf has specific needs.
Apologies.
I mean, we were taking care of him. Well, Farren was taking care of him. I was just drawing him for a feature episode of my new play, which I shall tell you about later, of course, when we return. If indeed you do.
What was this wolf doing during the last session? Was he just hanging out at the party?
Kind of just sitting outside. Like I said, he's completely useless.
Does he just blip in and out of existence?
Yeah, probably, to be honest.
He's like Minecraft wolves, just following you and teleporting when they get too far behind.
Yeah. Okay, then. So you guys are heading
off,
then?
Is there anything else we need to know, Prince, before we leave?
Let's see now. It can be quite cold up there, so you might want to dress warmly.
Already done that.
Okay.
I can layer up my costumes if things get a bit difficult.
And
that's another reason why I'm not taking the wolf, in case Jake here decides to gut it and then use its fur as a cloak.
Quite right.
Good luck with
Jake is strangely silent for this, so I think that was actually his idea.
I was just looking through my bags to see if there was anything I can wear. I've got this long coat as one of my costume pieces, which I've just placed on.
Okay, then. Be careful. It can be quite cold up there.
You can wear my bedroll if you want. That's the only thing I have that I could offer. Yeah.
Righty then. With that, we shall be off, dear Prince. We will report back to you once everything has done and completed itself.
Are you guys taking horses then?
We wish you a happy, enjoyable festival of the Midspring Frost.
Yes, but do you need horses?
Yes,
we need horses. For the third time we need horses, for crying out loud.
Okay, just wanted to confirm. You were very unclear at this point, and then we started discussing your wolf.
Right, we want horses. Give us the animals.
Okay, and he writes out something on a slip of paper and says, okay, give this to the stable keep.
Of course. Farren, you can take care of this, can't you?
Yeah, I'll get the horses.
I just pass it off kind of to him without even looking at him. Just assume that he'll carry it for me.
Okay, so you're going off to the stable keep?
Yeah.
And he looks it over and says, okay then. Alright, these are orders from the prince to kill whoever handed me this note.
Oh, they were?
No. Kidding. That was a joke. Oh. Timothy, put down the spear. We're not really doing that.
That must be a joke. If that happens, that's not going to end well for the stable boy.
Yeah, he turns to another stable hand and says, Timmy, put down the pitchfork. That was a joke.
Oh, hello, Timmy. Aren't you a good little boy? Would you like a sweet?
Oh, wait, so you did
Is that the name of the stable boy? The name of the stable boy should be Timmy.
Well, yeah, the stable boy is Timmy, and then there's also, a senior stable hand.
Yeah, so I give this boy a sweet to,
named Thomas.
Timmy.
The senior guy's called Dick.
Fine, his name is Richard.
Yes, Richard.
Well, dear Richard, could we perhaps have our horses then? I see that, that one over there looks, like, one could almost fit, antlers on it. Could you imagine that? A horse with antlers and a lovely plush, one of those mittens which I wanted Farren to wear.
We call those we call those deer. Do you want a deer?
Yes, you do, don't you?
I think this particular variety is a reindeer.
Ah, yes, a reindeer.
Yes,
Wait, they actually have reindeer? Can we get reindeer?
Do you guys wish to take the reindeer on your quest?
Yes, absolutely.
That would be, I believe, fitting and appropriate for such a cold environment.
And he says, okay then. This one's name is Buckaroo, and he points at one of them.
Of course. That'll be mine.
Okay. And this one's name is Skip-a-Doodle, and he points at another.
Skip-a-doodle.
Buckaroo and Skip-a-Doodle.
Wonderful. I will take Skip-a-doodle then. Is there any way of affixing my lantern to the front of Skip-a-doodle's face without it obstructing his sight?
That does not sound like a safe idea. You can just hold the lantern.
So I walk over to Skip-a-doodle and kind of, pat him down, treat him well. I will have picked up an apple in the palace, so I let Skip-a-doodle eat on the munch on the apple.
Yeah, munches on it. Seems to enjoy the apple.
Good.
Seems to enjoy the apple.
Seems to.
I mean,
I don't know. Maybe I should ask him.
What, do you have the speak with animals spell?
No.
Okay.
I have animal handling, and that's about it, I think.
Okay.
I mean, I can speak common. Ha ha ha! Little joke about talking to Farren.
I'm assuming reindeer don't speak Draconian because I can speak Draconian.
Not this particular variety, no.
God damn it!
And also,
Table.
and he also says, by the way, these creatures do not fly. For some reason, a lot of people think that these creatures can fly. Please do not try to ride off the edge of a cliff with one of these. It will not end well.
I lean over to Farren and say, "Do you have any flying spells, perchance? Might be fun to."
Unfortunately, not.
Could have danced around some rooftops. Turn back to the stable, and of course, why would they be able to fly? That's not something which would be written in a play ever, would it? At all? No, especially not a play for children.
On a side note, I do know the actual story behind flying reindeer, but I'll tell you that another time if you want.
Okay, then.
Another time.
Well, good luck with that, and please bring back Buckaroo and Skip-a-Doodle safely.
We shall certainly try.
I can't guarantee their safety, pal, I'm afraid.
Yes, you can, Farren. Put some effort in. One has to guarantee the safety of the animals we have foraged.
You know what? I will. I'll make sure that Buckaroo comes back all right.
And Skip-a-Doodle. You're in charge of the animals.
Skip-a-Doodle. I'm in charge of both of them now. This is a complete mission. Must do this.
Because obviously you and your wolf go such far back that you should be the one in charge of animals. How's your how are your skills with handling animals, by the way?
Pretty good.
That's good because I'm horrendous.
+3 animal handling.
Cards and let someone else drive.
Right. So I'm. Wait, we don't have a cart, do we? We are just literally riding the reindeer.
Yes,
you guys are just riding reindeer. Maybe you'll be able to find a sleigh. Who knows?
Just for reference, my survival is 1. So if we set up camp, Tim, you're in charge of that, and my animal handling is also 1.
Yeah.
So yay!
If you guys have a campfire, you're really good at telling stories around it.
That is true. I can also do inspiration.
Yep. Okay. So on these reindeer is basically going to be a full day's journey in order to get to the nearest village.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, as I mentioned, right now it is springtime, so it's pretty sunny out, so you probably aren't wearing your winter gear yet, right?
My gear is just good for all seasons. It's like
okay.
a 4-season sleeping bag, but it's 4 seasons cloak and armor and shirt and trousers and boots and stuff.
Yep.
I'm just in a a light linen shirt at this point. I've got my armor strapped to the kit we've used, the saddles, but I haven't put on a cloak yet.
Yep. So you guys are traveling north through the Elvish countryside. It's a really nice view. The elves, they're pretty in tune with nature, so outside of their cities, they tend to just sort of let it grow.
Very nice.
Yep. And as I mentioned, this city is pretty much just directly south of the mountains, so you can definitely see them as you begin to approach and are heading up the mountainous trail. And so, let's see now, how fast? And so, yes, after a few hours, you guys are heading up the mountains, and it begins to snow. And this snow is a very sudden transition.
Any day rations, by the way, because I've got like 10 times day rations, and if we've been walking for a day, that kind of implies that I should be using up day rations or something.
Hasn't been a day quite yet, but yeah. And by the way, this snow is a very sudden transition because outside of this line, it's not even raining or anything. But I guess you can sort of see it coming. Like, because you're going up the slight incline and you notice, oh, hey, there's a snow line up there. That's kind of weird.
So
it's like Minecraft. It's like Minecraft.
So when we get up there, I dismount from the reindeer skipperdoodle and step over kind of the line, hopping backwards and forwards. And I go, huh. And then get back on the reindeer and proceed to carry on riding up the mountain.
Yeah,
this time getting the jacket out from the... I'm putting it on.
So, here, let me... Yeah, so it very quickly transitions from like 15.5 degrees Celsius to, I guess, around 0 degrees Celsius outside. It's a very sudden transition.
Right.
Also, I hope Google
Farren...
translated those properly.
I say to Jake, this isn't natural at all. Something very fishy's going on here.
Yes, every time we cross the line, my nipples get hard.
Farren laughs.
Jake Actor kind of smiles, he knows it's cracked a joke, and then continues saying, but yes, there is something not entirely right here. Maybe we'll find out the cause of it, maybe we won't. We shall see. At the very least, a happy festival of the Midspring... We really need to shorten this. Midspring. Goodness me. I'll have to think about that. Something I can think about.
Yeah,
Midfrost. Just call it Midfrost from now on.
Midfrost makes sense, doesn't it? Why do we have to call it the Midspring Frost? Just call it Midfrost. The Midfrost Festival. Or Midfrostmas.
Happy Midfrostmas.
Quite right.
Yep. Yeah, is that what you guys discuss throughout the rest of this day? Just different things to call this holiday?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's too long.
Really kind of, yeah.
Yeah, so nothing much interrupts you during this day, and it does... the hours tick on, and it gets to be nighttime, and based on what the prince told you, you should be able to reach the nearest village in the morning if you break for tonight, or you can keep traveling through if you prefer.
Oh, this is a difficult decision now, because it seems simple, but do we keep traveling? I reckon we shouldn't. I reckon the normal thing we'd do would be to stop.
You think... well, I don't know whether to speak about.
If we don't sleep, then we're not going to be the best prepared when we...
Well, if we get to the village, then we can stay in the local inn.
We could do, but we might make a bad impression on the village. I mean, we're going to do that anyway, but we might make a worse impression if we are, like, sleep deprived and come across the villagers and start talking to them.
Well,
for example, I might fall off
only you would make a bad impression on the villagers, whereas I can...
in that case, we'll just continue.
Yeah, let's continue.
Let's continue and I will fall
off. What's the worst that could happen?
Okay.
Nothing like that.
And by the way, so now that it's nighttime out, it starts to get even colder outside.
Right.
And so, yeah, you guys are just going to be traveling straight through the snow, and I'm going to need you both to make Constitution saving throws to see how the cold affects you.
Is that a 20 side?
Yep.
11.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, sorry, 14. 14.
1.
You rolled a 1?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay,
Oh,
so
no.
yeah, Farren, he's doing just fine carrying on. It's like, yeah, you know what, Jake, this was a good idea. I'm glad we kept going. Meanwhile, Jake forgot to put on his heavy winter coat, and you're going to be affected by 1 level of exhaustion.
Oh,
Oh,
great.
goodness me. 1 level of exhaustion.
Yes, and that specifically means that you're going to have a disadvantage on ability checks.
Oh, lovely. We love a good disadvantage.
Yep.
Probably make that a bit clearer. Oh, in retrospect, this was a really good idea taking the reindeer, because horses would not have been able to make it through the snow.
Oh, yeah. But
We
yeah,
made a
Farren's
good
fine.
choice there.
He's able to withstand the cold.
It's because of my 4-season sleeping bag that I'm wearing. No, I'm not actually wearing a sleeping bag. But that
Draped
would have
over your
been something.
shoulders.
Yeah.
And
This whole thing is just an advert for Coleman.
as you guys carry on, about half an hour later, you begin to hear the howling of wolves.
Oh, I really should have brought Penfold. Fuck.
Hey,
I love the
hey,
fact these wolf howls are just suddenly cut off. Just.
And you guys begin
Hey.
to see, coming out of the snow ahead of you, seems to be a shape that at first you think, oh hey, is that a sheep? What's a sheep doing all the way up here? Then you realize, oh wait a minute, that looks way more like a wolf than a sheep.
Hey,
Our
hey,
animal
Farren.
ID skills are terrible.
Hey, Farren, I don't suppose you see that up ahead, do you?
Aye, it's just a wolf. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. Although that being said, wolves never travel on their own, so we'll probably come across the rest of the pack in a second.
And then there's another wolf. Then another. Then another.
Ah,
You said a second, Farren.
So
aye.
soon there's that one main wolf that seems to look almost a little bit like a sheep, and then 3 other wolves accompanying it.
I've never seen a wolf that looks like a sheep before, Jake. This one looks weird. Maybe it's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
The prophecy is true.
Can I run a perception or other form of check to investigate the wolves we see in front of us? See
Yeah.
if there's anything that I can glean.
If you want, you can roll investigation with disadvantage because you're exhausted.
Oh, of course I am. 8 plus 6 or 17 plus 6. So 8 plus 6 is 14.
Yeah, with a 14, even in this state, you're able to deduce that these wolves are coming straight at you. And they seem aggressive.
All right.
Okay, I could try. Is there any sort of animal handling thing I could do to get the reindeer to gallop off?
So you're going to try to outpace the wolves?
Yeah.
I can't out. That's fine.
Yeah, if you want, you can basically, roll plus animal handling to try to just entice your reindeer to go, hi-ya!
Right. 9.
Yeah, with a 9, this deer is just so intimidated by the wolves that it actually tries to sprint off in the other direction. With your 9 for animal handling, you're able to somewhat keep it on the right path, but it is not liking any part of this.
It's going in the other direction. I mean, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. I
Yeah, like
turn
it tries
the,
to break off to the right, off the
Yeah.
path. You're able to
Okay.
somewhat keep it on the trail, though. Just like,
So
oh no,
it's
oh
going in
no.
the wrong direction off the path, or in the wrong direction slightly on the path.
So right now you guys are on the path. This thing sees the wolves, tries
Right.
to break off to the right, but you're able to mostly stop it from getting off the trail and getting you lost.
And is it still going in the same direction that we were going before, or have I just stopped it from going to the right? Is it sort of bucking around on the same spot?
Yeah, at this point, it's stopped moving altogether.
Okay.
Well, it's not dead. It's not completely
No,
stopped
no, no.
moving.
I don't mean. I don't mean it stops breathing and everything. God.
Yeah, you held its back so much that you just snapped its neck. No. Okay, but what do you guys want to do about the approaching wolves? Right now, they
Jake,
seem to be about
you wanna
100
try
feet
to-
away.
What's the range of my Eldritch Blast? It's 70, isn't it?
Oh no! Can I light a torch? Because I've got a torch.
Do you have the supplies to light it?
I have a tinderbox and 9 torches.
I mean, it's actively snowing down, so I don't know how well you'd be able to use a tinderbox to light a torch.
I could try. I could try sheltering the tinderbox under my bedroll, put it sort of over the reindeer and then underneath. That requires getting off the reindeer though, which might not be a good idea.
Yeah.
Um.
By the way, there's the stats on the deer. It can move about 50 feet per round and has an armor class of 13 and a low health.
Were those the wolves?
Yeah, and then the other wolves just look like wolves.
Got ya.
There's one wolf that looks like a sheep, and then there are other wolves.
Yep.
Can I make a perception check?
What are you trying to perceive?
Why the wolf looks like a sheep?
Yeah, if you want, you can try to investigate.
Right. 18.
Yeah, with an 18, you take a look closer and you realize that it almost seems to be a type of snow camo.
Right.
Oh.
As in a
Snowy.
natural snow camo or an artificial snow camo?
You can't quite deduce that, but it seems. But you
Okay.
realize that this color of its fur is very much like the white of snow.
Okay. Oh, so it's just it's an albino wolf.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Cool. Jake, do you have anything that isn't a javelin? Because I have a javelin which I could throw at one of them and try and scare the pack off. But
I was going to suggest dismounting, getting my sword and my Eldritch Blast ready, and getting ready to fight.
I'm gonna try and stay on the reindeer for as long as possible, just personally. You can jump off. I do have javelins with a range of 30 out of 120. I don't know what that means.
So
I'm assuming
30.
that's meters or something.
Yeah. So 30 is the normal range, or if you want, you can throw out 120 with disadvantage.
Oh, I see. How far are away are the wolves? Or do I have
Right
to
now,
make a
they're about
roll?
100 feet away. So 2 rounds of deer speed.
Yeah, I guess I could try and get closer on the reindeer on Buckaroo.
Yeah, so do you want to dash, which would take your full action, or just move 50 feet forward and try to throw?
That one.
Okay, so yeah, you're moving 50 feet up and trying to throw your javelin.
Cool.
Well,
what do I
if that's
roll?
what you're
It
going to
says
do,
1d6.
I'm going to need everyone to make initiative rolls.
Okay.
16 plus 1. 17.
18.
Okay, so one of the regular wolves is going to go first.
Okay.
Yeah, and it basically is going to just run full speed directly at Jake and then just start barking at you.
Yeah.
Wait, do wolves bark?
Yeah.
They will sort of yap and howl around a prey animal to try and disorientate it.
Yeah, so it's going to run up to Jake and start yapping. Okay, and that's going to bring us to Farren.
Is it coming towards me?
This one seems preoccupied with Jake.
Okay. How many wolves are there, by the way?
There are four
Or can we not?
wolves. There are 4 wolves in total.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try and throw a javelin at the nearest one.
Okay.
Or the nearest one.
So yeah, the one that ran up towards you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's within normal range then.
Okay. What do I roll? I've got 1d6 for attack, but I'm guessing it's...
Yeah, you roll a
20.
d20 plus strength and proficiency for your attack roll.
Right. Uh, 12.
You rolled a 12.
No, I rolled a 6, but I have +3 strength and +3 proficiency.
Let's see now. The wolf. Yeah, that misses.
Right.
So yeah, just kind of
And
lands.
does that
on
mean
the
I
ground
lose
right
my
next to you.
javelin?
What?
I'm guessing that means I lose my javelin.
Yeah, you'll have to go pick it back up if you want it.
Right.
Wait, let me double check something. Almost certain barbarians get extra. Yeah, you have extra attack since you're a 5th level barbarian. So if you have another javelin, you can try to throw that as well.
I mean, I have 4 javelins, so
Yeah.
yeah, I could. Right. I guess I'll make another roll.
Okay.
$19.
Yeah, with a 19, yeah, you're able to make contact. Roll damage.
Oh god. Hang on. 1.
Okay, 1, and you add your strength modifier to that, so that'll be 4.
Cool.
So
I don't know
yeah,
how many health points.
you're able to get a solid hit on this guy that's yapping at Jake's deer.
Does it scare the rest of the pack away? That's the important part.
No, not quite.
Right.
Okay, so next, that's going to bring us to Jake.
Wonderful. So, I get an action, but I don't get a bonus action, just to confirm, and I'm rolling with disadvantage.
I mean, you might be able to have a bonus action if you have a specific bonus action thing.
Oh, no, I don't.
Yeah, okay,
I'd
what exactly
think
are
so.
you doing?
Well, I'm going to charge up the Eldritch Blast. 2 beams of it. If I get 2 beams, does that mean I can target 2 separate?
Yes, you
targets?
can. And let me double check the range. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, the
please
range
do.
is 120 feet, so yeah. So yeah, you can hit any of these wolves. And you do not have disadvantage on this.
I do not.
No, that's the 3rd level of exhaustion.
Okay, that's good. Phew, I can take that. And just to confirm, do I know how many hit points the wolf had? Is that something I can know, or?
Let's see now. The javelin that the wolf that got hit by a javelin seemed to be a good hit.
Yeah.
Seemed to fairly shake him, so. But can't really give you a numeric value.
In that case, I'll do a risk assessment. I'll hit one wolf, the close to me, with one of the beams of Eldritch Blast, and then I'll shoot past the other ones who I'll probably start trying to. Actually, no, I'll hit one of the other small wolves because the big wolf is going to be harder to kill. So I'll start off with the smaller ones.
Okay.
So we're only fighting one enemy rather than 4.
Yeah.
You know, when the boss battle comes, you always fight the little ones, and then you fight the big one.
Yeah. So yeah, you make separate attack rolls for each beam. So roll the first one.
So for this, I'm just doing the D20 to hit.
D20 plus. It's a ranged spell attack, so I believe you get to add proficiency and your charisma bonus.
So +3 +8.
Yep.
No, +3 +5, which is 8. There we are. So the one closest to me is 10 + 8.
Yep.
That's 18, and 2 + 8 for the one furthest away.
Okay.
Which is 10.
Yeah, so the one that's closer that hits, roll damage.
Rolling a D10.
Yep.
I got 3, and then is it plus anything?
No, just straight damage.
3.
Yeah, so you're able to steer off some of its fur, and then The other attack misses.
Okay. Yeah, that's mainly worked.
Nay, now the wolves get to go.
Yay!
Yeah, they are all pretty much just going to spend their turns running up towards you guys. So yeah,
What about the one that's already at us? Is he just cowering in fear because I just stabbed him with a javelin?
well, he is going to go on the attack. Yeah, so his
Oh.
3 compatriots all dash up towards you to clear the distance.
Got you.
And now this wolf is going to try to attack, I guess, the deer that Jake is sitting on.
Which isn't Buckaroo, because I have Buckaroo.
Nope.
Skip-a-doodle.
Skip-a-doodle.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Hits.
I'll be right back. I'm going to get dinner, and then I'll be back. It's ready, apparently. I will be back immediately. I'm not going to eat dinner. I'll be back with my dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, by the way, these deer, they've got full health, 8, but that one just got bit for 6. So now it's down to 2.
Oh, lovely.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to bring us to Farren.
Whenever he comes back. How much damage do I do if I hit someone with my bugle? Just get my bugle out and just hit it. Hit the wolf with it.
Probably 1d4 for a bugle.
That's not worth it.
I mean, you have a sword.
That is true.
Yep.
I also get 2 beams of Eldritch Blast though. So.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to make sure that the horse doesn't get attacked, you might want to hop off of it.
Am I able to do that?
I mean, on your turn you can.
Will that take my whole turn?
No. Just dismounting the horse, no.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry about that.
You're just having a glass of water for dinner?
Yeah, glass of water, and that is it. I don't have...
Wonderful.
No bread? Oh. Nice. Okay.
Chicken biryani.
Now it's your turn, Tim. And
Right.
and as I told Jake, if you want to make yourself the target instead of the deer, you will have to dismount.
What happened with Jake and the wolf?
The wolf bit at his deer. It took massive damage, but it's still alive because it was the closer target.
Right.
So if you want, you can dismount. That way they're less likely to attack your deer.
You might be wise, considering I promised the prince I'd bring back Buckaroo in one piece.
Yep.
And Skip-a-doodle.
And Skip-a-doodle. Yeah, I have both of them under my protection.
Under your protection, not mine. Just yours.
How many health points did Skip-a-doodle lose?
Lost 6 of its 8 health.
6 health?
Yep.
What was the thing you... Hang on. I don't think, if I remember correctly, that deer have very much health.
Yeah, I've decided that these particular ones, since they're royal deer, have the max of 8 health.
Oh, flip. Yeah, in that case, I really need to get going. Yeah, I dismount. And I guess it's time to bring out the greatsword called... I've forgotten the name of it because I lost the piece of paper that said what it was called. Dragon's Bane, I think, was the name of it. I draw Dragon's Bane and smite some wolves with a blow to whichever wolf is close.
Okay. That'll be what I like to call wolf number 1.
Okay, cool. $20.
Oh, you rolled a 20?
I rolled a 14.
Okay, yeah, that hits. Roll damage.
Cool. Let's see. 6.
Yep, yeah. You just take out your axe and just heave at this thing for 6 damage. It's a massive hit. Still holding on, but you get 2 attacks.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Wait, did you roll a 6 for damage?
I rolled a 5 and a 1 because I had 2d6 for the greatsword.
Yes, but you get to add your strength modifier to that. So that should be a 9,
Uh,
right?
Oh, okay, so that's 9 there.
Yeah, you just decapitate this wolf then.
Oh, okay, cool.
Is that the wolf closest to me?
That was the wolf closest to him, but now if you want, you can go
Okay.
over and attack the one closest to Jake.
Hey, you know
I
what
do
you
that.
said about saving Skipperdoodle? I ain't gonna say nothing more.
Right, I go after the one attacking Skipperdoodle.
Yep.
Flip. Why do I have a wooden table? That's 9.
9 for your attack roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, that misses. But Jake, now it's your
Rip.
turn.
Well, I hop off Skipperdoodle, thrust myself between Skipperdoodle and the wolf, and I reach my hands out like a rock star and summon 2 beams of Eldritch Blast and thrust them, aiming into those 2. I assume the eyes are yellow. Those 2 yellow wolf eyes, hoping to hit.
So you're aiming them both
And-
at this guy? Okay, roll it.
Yeah, I'm aiming to the guy close to me with both of them. So that is a 7 and a 20.
The 7 misses,
Natural.
the 20 hits. Wait, was it a
The
natural
7
20?
is plus 8. 7 plus
wait.
8.
Yeah, actually those both hit. And by the way, was that a natural 20?
Natural 20.
Okay. So you're going to be rolling 3d10 for this.
3d10 for the natural 20, or
Well,
for the whole
3d10
thing?
total, since you were aiming these at the same wolf.
Lovely. 4, 5, 5. 14 total.
Yeah, you just blast this thing with your inner... Okay, so... You have this as a specific subclass ability. Since this is a warlock spell, or warlock cantrip, you were able to get this from a subclass
Yeah.
ability, right? So
Yes.
yeah, you just call upon all of your inner lore that you know, and you just give upon... And you just... Here, I have an idea. You just
I
shout in the
apologize.
name of Greepus, the god of wolves, and just annihilate this thing.
I can imagine this body just fly up into the air and flop about.
Yeah, it's like
couple
getting hit by a giant in Skyrim.
Yeah. And after I do that, I take a look at it flying off and I say, nobody damages Skipperdoodle.
And then slams back on the ground.
Epic music plays from somewhere in the background. Probably
No, that's
a
just
bar.
me on the fiddle. That's just me on the fiddle.
Okay. That causes one of the other wolves to run off.
Wait,
Well-
one of the other wolves?
What can I say?
But the
Surely
white
all
wolf
of the other wolves.
the white wolf is standing firm.
Ah, the boss, of course.
The White
The
Wolf.
male
Is
never
it called Geralt?
It's Geralt the White Wolf.
Little witch joke for you.
Indeed, indeed. Right, I'm assuming it's my go. Oh no, it's the wolves' go, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm in here.
Yeah, so this thing, it's going to back up. Yeah, so this thing, it backs up a little bit and then just exhales a blast of snow and ice from its mouth. And I'm going to need you both to make Constitution saving throws. Or, no,
Right.
dexterity saves.
Dexterity.
Yep.
Right, cool.
I just rolled a natural 20.
16.
Yeah, so with a natural 20, Jake is basically able to dash out all stylishly. But Farren is going. Let's see now. Yeah, you just get blasted for 7 cold damage.
Right.
Yeah, now this thing is just going to turn and run. Do you want to give chase?
Cool. No.
Is there any chance I can shoot it with 2 Eldritch Blasts just for good measure?
Yeah, based on its speed, it can't get out of its attack range on your turn. On its turn, so yeah.
So that's 2d20 for each beam.
Well, first, does Farren want to try to throw a javelin at it as it runs away?
Yes, I was just going to say that.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, solid.
Go ahead and roll that first. It's out of your normal range, so this will be with disadvantage.
Right. No point. 1. Absolutely no point. Why did I even bother? I literally just got frozen. I don't know why I thought throwing a javelin would work.
You throw a javelin and a strong headwind blasts it back into Jake. No.
No.
If that happened, I would redirect from the Eldritch Blast to him just for good measure.
Okay, but yeah, you want to
It
try
just
hitting.
turned into friendly fire.
Want to try hitting with an Eldritch Blast? Go for it.
Alright, 2 beams of Eldritch Blast coming up. I got a 7 and a 3, baby. Which is plus 8. So that one of them is 15, and I assume the other 11 hasn't hit. If even the 15 has hit.
Yeah, the 15 hits.
Solid, and that's just 1d10.
Yep.
9!
Yeah, that's a solid hit.
9.
Yeah, so you just like
Can I
blast
pick
this
up
thing in the
my
back as it runs
javelin
away.
that I dropped beforehand?
What was that, Drew?
Yeah, so you're just able to blast this thing in the back as it runs away.
Solid.
So yeah, you guys survived your encounter in the snow.
I'm just
Can I
stood
pick up
there.
the javelin that I threw at the first wolf?
Yep.
Assuming it's
Yeah,
not
I'm-
embedded in its body.
I'm just stood there, kind of panting, sweaty, kind of heaving, and I kind of look at Farren and I go, "You better go and pick up your javelins, sir, before we arrive at the village." And with that, I go back over to Skipperdoodle and kind of pet him.
Yeah, he is not in good shape. He took a
He is not
Nasty
in good
bite.
shape.
I say, good idea, but I don't think I'm much good with them, so they'll probably not be that much point.
Can I use a healing word spell? Word spell.
Yeah, so
on,
you can
on
cast.
Skipperdoodle.
Yeah, you can cast Healing Word on it. Go for it.
Do I need a D20 roll for that?
No, Healing Word. That's just a straight 1d4 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Ooh, got to dig out the spellcasting modifier.
It's plus your Charisma mod.
Okay, so that's 4 plus
5.
just my charisma modifier, so that'll be plus 5.
Yep. Yeah, 1d4.
9. Oh, proper healed, like 1d4. So no, I got 4 plus 5.
Yeah. So you just speak a word of healing right at this thing, and it's restored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as I'm like patting him, I see the wound. I reach out a hand. I say the word of healing, and kind of a yellow light illuminates, and I then keep patting him and saying, I wish I had an apple for you, boy. Alas, I would have given you one, and I forgot to pick up more. That would have been sensible to pick up some more apples, wouldn't it?"
Yep.
I pat Jake on the back and say, "You've saved my skin. I owe you a pint now."
Certainly won't say no. And remounts the. So I remount Skipperdoodle.
Okay. And yeah, Farren, you are able to collect your javelins, and you notice that the wind seems to be picking up a bit.
Right.
Should we perhaps, Farren, set up camp here and call it a night? Throw in the towel, as you say.
I think... I'm not sure. The wolves might come back.
Well, look, we did them a pretty good scare off, so...
Aye,
They may
but we
not
hurt the
have
pack
the
leader. They might want revenge.
Do we know how far it is down the road to the village now?
No, you weren't really told the exact distance. You just knew that if you followed the trail, you'd be able to find it easily enough.
Yeah. And we can't see anything kind of in near distance?
You know that you're relatively close, but you don't know how far away.
Yeah.
But you do know that since you were traveling all day, it's probably not more than maybe an hour from where you are now.
Oh, well, in that case, I guess we just keep going.
Aye.
Well, seeing as Farren doesn't want to stop, we keep
I
going.
know rules.
Yeah. And yeah, so you guys continue on into the snow, which is starting to hit even heavier now, starting to really turn into a bit of a storm, and you can hear the fierce winds whipping around you. And after a little bit, Farren, you begin to hear a strange wind that almost seems to be blowing like...
Right.
It's almost as if you can hear your name in the wind. Farren.
I'm used to hearing voices, so I don't do anything. Farren is a schizophrenic confirmed.
Yeah. You also begin to hear the sound of a nearby river.
Sound of river, Farren. That's good. We should be close to the village as they need a water source. Hopefully, I can get my pint in before it's too late.
I think the tavern will still just about be open by the time you get there, but the reindeer really need some water.
This is your chance, Farren. And then you guys begin. Then you hear a scream for help.
Ah, a damsel in distress.
Oh, it could be a man in distress too. There's no reason why it has to be. Why is it? What is it with you and woman, Farren? After all this time, oh, well, let's go and see what we can do.
For crying out loud.
Well, I wasn't saying that you weren't. I was just saying that. Do we need to roll a perception to find out where this comes from, or do we just need to go towards it?
Tim, Farren seems to have a very good idea that this is coming from the right of him, just through the tree line, which is also where you hear the river coming from.
I whisper to Jake, it could be a trap.
A trap? Why would it be a trap? Someone's just screaming to a help. Why would it be a trap?
Trust me, it's a common tactic used by bandits to get people in.
Help!
I wonder, can I make a perception roll to see if it's a genuine scream for help or if it sounds fake? Yeah. Is that a thing?
Go for it.
Okay.
Roll insight.
Right.
And roll with advantage.
18.
Yeah, with an 18, this sounds very real to you. For whatever reason, deep in your core, you feel as though you should go over there and see what's going on.
All right, I say to Jake, I think it is genuine, actually. We should probably go over.
See, that's what I was saying. Goodness me, Farren, you and your bandit ways.
You can't be too cautious, Jake.
Well, let's just go.
Yes, let's.
And you break through the tree lines, and you see that there seems to be, in a slow-moving current, there's a child that seems to be holding on to a branch. Can't quite seem to pull herself to the shore, though.
I mean, I can hit them with a vicious mockery, but there's not much I can do magic-wise. In that case, can we get closer and see whether we can help?
Yes, you guys approach closer and see that this child definitely seems to be in need, and she looks up at you guys and says, "Help! Help!"
Don't worry, we're gonna help you soon. We just gotta stay there, darling. All right? We'll be with you soon.
Also, Jake, I'll remind you that right now, Jake, he's already exhausted from the winds, and he is in very low physical constitution in normal situations. And this is a very cold river.
Yeah, I feel that was like a low blow to Jake there. That's.
So I turn to Farren and I say, "After you."
Do we know how wide this river is, or deep?
You can't see how deep it is. It seems to be about 40 feet across, and the child's about halfway across.
40 feet, flip. That's, yeah, okay. Quite a substantial river. I jump off Buckaroo and dive in.
Okay, roll plus athletics with advantage.
$16.
Yeah, with a 16, you feel a bit of a power building inside of you. It almost feels like one of your barbaric rages, but in a calm sense, almost like very focused.
Oh, good. I finally learned how to control it.
And you start swimming towards this child. The long branch that she's holding onto snaps, and she grabs onto you.
I pull her back towards the bank.
And something that you notice is that you don't feel cold. You are a bit too invigorated to know this as you were swimming out there, but as you begin to swim back, you realize that for whatever reason, this river does not feel cold for you.
Don't say that this child is Jesus, because this sounds very much like Saint Christopher.
And once you step out, the child does begin to glow a bit.
Oh no, it is actually Jesus.
Oh dear, is that Farren? Do you see that?
And she transforms.
Transformers.
Into what?
Into a man dressed in what appears to be a pelt and holding a great sword.
Oh,
And he's got a
upside down.
and he's got a very fancy helmet that seems to have like antlers on it.
It's Herne the Hunter.
And yeah, and he seems to just be decked out in all sorts of different hunting trophies. And cloaked a little bit, seems to be in snow.
I look at this guy, kind of look him up and down, and say, hello there. How can we help you?
And he says, "Hello, my name is Greyear."
Grey hair.
Greyear.
Grey hair.
Great ear.
Grey ear.
I am the god
See,
of...
what is it? I turn to Farren and say, what is it with all these confusing names? We've got the festival of the Midspring Forest Winter, and then we've got this guy called Grey Hair. Goodness me.
Greyear.
And I turn back to this guy and go, yes, sorry, I interrupted you.
I am a god of the hunt and a god of winter. I've been watching you for a while now, Farren Munro.
I've just been saying nothing at this point because I'm trying to work this guy out.
See, Farren, it seems someone wants you.
Just now, you risked your own safety to help another. You could have frozen to
Seems
death
he
in
likes
this
you,
river.
Farren.
That is the courage that I admire.
I mumble something like, thank you, I guess.
You are clearly an honorable man, and I want you to take this. And he holds out the great sword that he was holding and presents it to you.
I take the knee and take it in my two upturned hands.
This sword shall serve as your protection here in these mountains.
I thank him.
And once you're holding it, you feel a sort of warmth grow about you. And Farren, while you have this sword on your person, you have resistance to cold damage.
Yes. This is useful in a frosty environment. If only we'd had this when we were battling the wolves.
In the background, I'm just furiously scribbling down notes in one of my many kind of actors' notebooks.
This is the
I turn
sword.
to Jake and say, "You better put this in a play, pal. This is some real writing idea."
I scribble something out.
This is the sword of the Frostman's Hunt.
I shall call him Frosty. No, don't say that. I don't say that.
Frosty the Swordman.
Frosty the Sword Man. No, I mumble again. Thank you.
This sword shall keep you safe. When the time
I'm kind
comes,
of going red at this point. Like Farren is going like red.
when the time comes that you need its protection, call upon my name, and it shall shield you in a protective snow. Aside from that, you shall need no shield, will you? For this shall be your defense.
And an honourable defence it will be.
Very well, then. I wish you both well on this quest, for I know that you are currently on a mission to help the local villages so that they may celebrate their festivals. You are putting yourself in danger to aid others. I respect that. Good cheer, gentlemen. Then he walks into the river and disappears.
Does the
I
river
do a
disappear?
police salute.
No, the river stays.
No,
It's
no,
a
the river
river.
stays.
No, the river disappears, but he's still there. Oh, whoops. Did it wrong.
It's just an empty bed. There's no water.
Ah, dang it, I'm always getting this trick mixed up. Yeah, no, he just disappears himself into the river.
Yeah. Well, Farren.
It seems as if I have been blessed.
No, it's for the first time in your life. Well done.
Actually, for the first time, you're right.
Well, I think we should be getting to that village. And you can keep yourself warm, whereas I need to sit down by a fire and have a hearty mead.
Aye, I'll get you a mead once we get to the tavern.
Or some of that strong liquid you get from your parents every so often. Your old clan, that strong liquid, what's it called? Warms
Whiskey!
you up inside. That's the one, warms you up inside.
You'll definitely be having some of that. If the tavern have it. If they don't,
Oh, yes.
I'll probably slay the innkeeper or
No, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's get
probably.
moving.
Yes.
Yeah, so after this, it's a short trek back. It's a short trek upwards, and you notice some buildings start to come into view.
Oh, finally.
Yep, you notice some street lights,
Ooh, even better.
and even though it is nighttime out, there are some people milling around.
Hello there. Hello, fine folk of, is it Norburn?
Yes, welcome to the village of Norburn, one waves at you.
Ah, thank you, sir. Now, I don't suppose you could do me a great favour and point me in the direction of the local inn or tavern, or indeed anywhere where I can warm up. I'm a bit exhausted.
Oh yeah, you're looking for the tavern? I can tell you where that is, but those guys, they were mean to me. They threw me out after I gave them so much business. Now, does that sound like a fair deal?
Can I do it's not perception, performance roll to try and
Work out whether he's drunk.
That would be...
persuasion roll, I guess. It all comes under the charisma kind of +9 anyway. Just what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and kind of convince him to put that aside and take us there anyway. But I'll do the roll first
Well,
and
first-
see where I can.
Well, first, tell me how you guys are going to interact with this guy.
I say, oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. Can you believe that? I mean, what kind of a store model is that? People buy a bunch of your stuff and then you throw them out anyway.
Oh, I see.
I say, listen, if
Yeah.
you show me where the tavern is, I'll have a word with the innkeeper and see if he can't rethink his decision.
And he points up the road and says, "Thank you. It's that away."
Oh, that's anyway, very specific, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, you kind of roll my eyes at the guy after I've turned around, of course.
Yeah.
I turn to Farren and whisper, well, I think he was a bit, you know what I mean, inebriated.
I don't think we'll get that far tonight, but yeah, we'll see.
Perhaps we should get so too. Without the kicking out parts, we need a warm bed for the night.
Indeed. Can't misbehave.
Can we go to the tavern?
Yeah, so as you guys begin to walk through here, you notice that there seems to be some shops that are all closed up for tonight.
Nice.
Oh, what are they called?
But, yeah, like, past a general goods shop, what
Yeah.
appears to be a smithery. Then you eventually come across what seems to be called the Spooky Dove Inn.
The Spooky Blood Inn.
Dove.
Spooky Dove.
Spooky Dove.
I'm glad you're taking these notes because I've forgotten what the flipping god who gave us the sword is called, and I need to call him up.
That down. Oh, well, it was your job to write that down. I didn't write that down. I can tell you what the festival's called, but that's about it.
In my mind, he's Herne the Hunter, so he's Herne the Hunter. Hopefully that works when I need the defense.
Kind of shivering and cold, I dismount Skipperdoodle.
I give Jake the sword, surely, because that would make him warmer. I give Jake the sword.
Well, first, Jake is going to struggle to hold that.
Oh, yeah, flip.
Yeah, because you have a, 8 to strength? And it's a great sword?
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, so he just hands off... Yeah, so he just hands off the sword, and you just, I guess your hand sort of dropped to the ground, still holding it, but it doesn't make you feel any warmer. Was this some kind of a joke?
I'm not sure what you tried to achieve.
Looking around to make sure nobody's noticed, take the sword off him and put it back on the back.
Yeah.
So I hitch Skipperdoodle the reindeer outside the inn and head inside without even a thought for Farren. I just go inside. Like, I need to warm up.
He's exhausted. He's got pneumonia.
Yep.
That guy's gonna die.
Yeah, so you walk into the tavern, and there seems to be, 3 men sitting at the bar, and and then some sort of elven bartender.
Elven bartender?
I'd just like to establish that you're in an elven country. Most of the people that you're going to meet here are elven. The man that you met out on the street appeared to be half-elf.
That's useful to know. Can I say to the barkeep in Elvish, hello there, I'm looking for a room, but first I've been on a long journey, and I'd like to sit by the fire and warm up before I can talk further. But in Elvish, and in good Elvish.
He responds in Elvish, well, I suppose you've come to the right place, friend.
Ah, thank you indeed, kindly, sir. Would you point me in the direction of the fire?
And he points at the very obvious fireplace to the right of him.
Thank you, sir. And I go shuffling over to the fire. I'm so cold I can barely kind of see, but I shuffle over to the fire and just kind of kneel down in front of it and wait for Farren to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tie up Buckaroo, and I follow Jake inside about a minute after he's entered.
I'm still there just shivering and
quite a
rocking on the
long
ground
time,
by the fire.
so Jake's just on his own for a while, whilst the solid 60 seconds wears up.
Also, so first Jake comes in, and he seems to be at least somewhat normal by their standards. Then you just push into the bar, a super muscular dude with a great axe and a great sword strapped to your back.
Oh, no. Oh, no, I could say that.
There's a new sheriff in town?
I was going to say another, but I hadn't had one yet, so that doesn't work. Yeah, I slam my fist down on the bar because I'm used to dealing with sort of rough human tavern type stuff, but I'm not used to Elvish, like more dainty, civilized bars. So I kind of just slam my fist down on the bar and say, "Oh, have a pint, please, mate."
Dwarven ale?
Aye, that'll do.
Okay. Yeah, so so the 3 men at the tavern seem a little shooken up by you, but the bartender himself is just sort of standing his ground. He's probably seen all sorts of weirdos.
At this point, I'll walk over to the bar, kind of put my hand on Tim's shoulder and turn to the two guys who seem slightly shook at the bar. I must apologise for my friend here. We've been on a long journey, and you know what he looks like. I don't need to say more, do I? I hope you all are all right there.
Yep.
And I'll have half a pint glass of mead for this guy. He needs some mead.
Yeah, so he pours a large glass and then a normal-sized one for the two of you and puts them in.
At this point, I'm sipping the mead gratefully.
It's almost warm. 1.5 silver, please.
Farren, you did say you'd buy.
I didn't check how much money I actually had. Oh yeah, I have 105 gold, so... I don't know what the currency's like, but I guess I give him... Oh, flip.
10 silver is 1 gold. It's a base 10 monetary system.
Alright, so I give him however much, whatever the equivalent of gold is for the amount of silver you asked for. I can't remember.
So do you just put a gold coin on the desk and ask for change?
Yes, I guess
Perhaps consider leaving a tip to Farren.
Yeah, I will give him a tip. I give him, like...
As in, just give him a gold coin.
Gold. See, it's a different currency, so I can't work in the 10%.
Here's me just trying to convince Farren just to slam down the gold and leave it at that.
So 10 copper is 1 silver, then 10 silver is 1 gold.
Right.
He's asking for 1.5 silver. And you just
get
one. So a gold coin is 10.
I literally don't have any silver, I just have 105 gold.
That's fine.
I have no other...
1 gold coin is 10 silver coins. So do you want 8.5 silver coins back?
Yes.
So yeah, he fishes into his cash box, pulls out 8 silver coins and 5 copper, and puts them down in front of you. So what brings you two gents to town?
I say bandits over the tankard and start sipping it.
Oh, good. You guys are the ones that the crown sent to deal with them?
Well, I was going to say in more words than my dear muscly friend here, yes, we've been sent by the prince to have a look at your bandit problem, if that's quite all right with you.
Well, thank goodness for that. You know, those ruffians, they were in here earlier today to steal some of my supplies. They said that they would be coming back
tonight. Did they take anything?
Yeah, they said that they'd probably be back tonight to take more. I don't really have what it takes to repel them, though.
Well, luckily my muscly friend here has some tricks up his sleeve, and myself, I feel like I need to go to bed, but I'm sure I can stay up and rest tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Well, it's the spirit of the Midspring Frost Festival, isn't it?
Oh, you mean Frostmas?
Oh, of course it's called Frostmas. Of course.
Nah, he doesn't say that. But if you guys want, you try to make that trend.
Yes,
I turn to the innkeep and say, have you considered calling it Mid-Frostmas?
That's an interesting idea. Mid-Frostmas.
I mean, it saves having to say the festival of the Midspring Forest every time.
Frostmas. Well, if you guys are able to say Frostmas, maybe we'll be able to call it that.
Yes.
Seems like a decent idea.
Yep.
At least it saves us having to waste our breath on the festival of the Midspring Frost. On our journey up here, it became quite a moment of hilarity, trying to find alternative names for what is invariably quite long-winded and in sentences can get quite punishing. For a play, for example, it is not conducive to a fast-flowing plot.
I gurgle into my tank.
Just the contrast.
Because I'm trying to laugh, but I'm also drinking, so it's quite hard.
It happens, yeah.
I say to the innkeeper, don't worry about these bandits. We'll have them sorted out, and you won't have any more trouble from them.
Quite right.
Well,
and then I whispered to him, apart from maybe disposing of the bodies.
Oh yes, we are.
Yep. So yeah, you guys hanging out at the tavern for a while?
Yeah.
Is there any chance of getting a rest in, or not?
Well, After about 20 minutes of you guys at the tavern, the door opens.
Yeah.
And in walks 3 very unsavory-looking men holding clubs.
I look at the barkeep and I look back at them.
If they're unsavory, that means they're sweet. Because they're not savory, so they must be sweet.
They're bitter. They are very bitter.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's another one.
Yeah,
I wouldn't suggest eating them.
Yeah, they all come in. They're all wearing black leather jackets, snapping their fingers in unison, while holding a club in their hand. So,
There's a double bass with somebody plucking the strings.
So we're back like we said we would. You got that, got your protection fee?
And
Can
then
I
I stand up and say, right here.
Okay.
After all, though, if you want the Scrinch boys to keep your tavern safe, gotta pay the protection fee.
At this point, because I always have a journal out or something or other, I look at the Scrinch Boys and say, the Scrinch Boys? What kind of a name is that? Goodness me. I'm not even going to write that down because it's so horrendous. You should have considered the Frostmas Boys. That would be much more on point. And I kind of, I don't know, what do I have? I can throw at them kind of... I take one of my spider eyes, because I got a load of spider eyes in my bag. Just take a spider eye and throw it at the main guy. Just politely, kind of just aggravating them.
You just throw a spider eye at them? Yeah, they're not liking that.
Well, yeah, I stand up and I have my arms folded and I'm just sort of staring at them, hoping that intimidation works. That's
I down my drink. And can I mutter at the
intimidation?
Yeah, roll plus intimidation.
Cool. 11.
Yeah, within 11, they just keep walking in all confidently, and they walk up to the bartender and say, "So, believe the protection fee is going to be 5 gold for this, since this is a very dangerous time of year."
Can I talk to the bartender and just ask him in Elvish? We were having a conversation earlier, sir. Are these the wonderful gentlemen you've mentioned and talked about who would be protecting your inn?
Yes. These are the ones.
Oh, they are. Oh, lovely. At that point, can I do you do an enthralling performance with these guys?
What are you gonna try to do?
I'm going to step up onto the bar. I'm going to pull out a bugle, and I'm going to do a rendition of "Cease the Cavalry," an Elvish ballad, which is rumoured to come from Eternal Winter. Cease the Cavalry.
Okay. What are you trying to do exactly?
I just enthrall them with the enthralling performance. I think it's a feat, so I can perform for 1 minute, choose up to 5 humanoids.
Okay. And what's the effect if it works?
To charm them so much that they will be amenable to my will.
So, so it'll be the charmed condition?
Charm condition, that seems appropriate.
Okay, yeah, you're a College of Glamour bard. Okay, so then, do they need to make wisdom saving throws? Yeah, wisdom saves.
That's Cease the Cavalry, the Elven ballad.
Yeah, they all rolled really low.
Yay! This will be a good job.
So what happens now? Can I just suggest things to them?
Yeah, they're basically charmed, so they'll want to listen to you, and they will treat you as an ally.
So,
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, could you answer a couple of questions for me? And Farren, if you just stand there and pitch in when you want to ask some questions of yourself.
Oh, yes.
I was wondering that I've heard that you guys have been partaking in the festivities and been receiving presents, strongly receiving You've been taking presents from people. Is that true?
Oh, yes.
Oh yes, you have. Now, where will you have taken them?
Oh, yeah, we're taking them up the trail to our boss, Burgenezer Scrinch.
Burgundy's a scrinch. Oh goodness me! I'll write that one down. Burgundy's scrinch.
I ask the bandits whilst Jake's writing that down. Is he northern by any chance?
Older than what?
Is he northern? Northern. Is he from the north?
Yes.
I thought so, with a name like that.
Ah, so this Mr. Scrinch, what would you say is he a big burly man or a frail man or?
Oh, I mean, Burgenezer himself, how would you describe him? Yeah, he's kind of old, but at the same time, probably in pretty good health.
Oh, okay, I see. And do you have any other? How many bandits are part of your gang or your Christmas spirit? No, it's Frostmas spirit gang. That's what we're calling it now. How many of you are part of your ensemble?
Oh yeah, don't have the exact numbers or nothing, but there's quite a few of us up at the HQ as we call it.
The HQ, yes. And would you say is there any way to any weaknesses of Mr. Scrinch? Any reasons why?
Well, let's just he says that he really doesn't like the festivals of the Midspring Frost.
Hmm.
And he knows that's a good time to take advantage of people and get their treasures.
I see. And where do you keep your treasures?
Oh, yeah, up at the, headquarters. I guess he keeps them in the back room.
In the back room at the headquarters.
Yep. Yeah, it's this old fortress, we think.
Ah, wonderful. And now, would you be willing to say, I've got to have a wonderful sleep myself. But if you were to just stay down here, maybe I'd put some gold coins out for you to have some mead during the night. And in the morning, if we head up to... Actually, no, this won't last that long, will it? No, Farren, would you do me a favour?
Aye.
The two closest fellows,
Aye.
could you firmly grab their heads and smash them together for me?
Aye. Do I need to make a strength? That's an attack thing, isn't it? Or do I just...
Are you actually gonna try to kill these guys?
Is there any way to kind of knock them out or shake them around a little bit? Or...
If you want, you might be able to restrain them or something. Do you guys have any rope?
Yeah, 65 feet of the stuff.
Could we ask them? Excuse me, sirs. I was wondering whether before you go, could we do an activity with you?
Oh yeah, that'd be wonderful. Is it musical?
Yes, it is. I pull out my fiddle. No, I pull out my bugle and keep playing "Cease the Cavalry." And I kind of message. Can I message? I don't know why I'm messaging him with a cantrip, but I am. I message Farren to tie them up as part of the game. So my friend here will dance with you, and you've got to do exactly as he says. And I start playing.
I sort of do a sort of skip round them, like a Morris dance round a pole, but with the rope.
Got this big curly guy.
I'm just winding it round them, and they're kind of watching you because they're still under the whole charisma sort of effect. Yeah, so I'm just dancing round them with this rope, and I'm gradually like winding it round them, and then I like tie a knot behind their backs so they can't see what I'm doing, and they're still sort of watching you, but they're not aware they're restrained, if that's a thing.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll plus strength to see how hard you can yank this rope.
Right. 11.
Yeah, within 11, you're able to make a knot that'll at least hold them back long enough for you guys to get a head start.
Right. I now mouth at Jake. Now what?
At this point, I turn back to the innkeeper and say, "Is there anything you'd like us to do with these polite fellows?"
Just leave them there. We'll summon the town guard.
How long will the town guard take to arrive, dear sir?
It shouldn't be too long.
Like a minute, 2 minutes,
Yeah, maybe 15 minutes, maybe.
15 minutes. Do you know how long the rope will hold?
That depends on whether or not they can cut their way out.
I go over to the rope and see if I can kind of strengthen it. I know I'm on disadvantage. Well, not disadvantage. I am on disadvantage, aren't I?
Yeah.
And I've got a -1, but I'll try it.
Well, if you want, you can ask them to hand over any sharp items they have.
That's a very good idea. Fellows, I was wondering, perhaps, because it's a tavern, we wouldn't want you yourselves getting hurt during our activities. So, would you mind handing over any sharp or blunt or any item that could be used to hurt yourselves if something were to go wrong?
Oh, well, we each have a dagger, but we can't really reach it now.
Oh, if you point out where,
happy that they can't reach the dagger.
if you point out where the daggers are, I'll go around and collect them for you, shall I?
Oh, right pocket. That's Scrinch Boy policy. Keep the knife in your right pocket.
Farren, take it away.
All right, boys. Now make sure you empty out all of your pockets. Don't forget about anything. Otherwise, you might hurt yourself. Health and safety protocol and all
Oh,
that.
yes. You certainly, if you have any money, we need money. We're going to do a magic trick. We're going to do a magic trick. So you need to give us all your money too.
I mean, go ahead and take it, but you know we're still playing that other game where you had us be tied up.
I go around and take the knives. And is there money? Do they have money as well?
Yeah. You find among the three of them a total of 10 silver pieces.
10 silver pieces. So I go and hand it to the innkeeper.
Hi.
And just leave it. I don't want it. I just hand it off to him.
I take their clothes, all of their clothes.
You dare?
Why?
They have nothing left.
So these naked men.
Wait, how long
tied
does
up,
this charm effect last?
I don't know. If they're still enthralled, I'm sticking with it. But it's a 1 minute performance.
Oh, flip.
No, but it lasts for an hour.
What was that?
The effect lasts for an hour, though.
Ah, lovely. Oh, in that case. Okay, so as the next part of this activity, gentlemen, you're going to sit here, and then some people are going to come in, and you're going to do exactly what they say. These are going to be very, very official people. And what the part of the game is you're going to do exactly what they say, and then they're going to put you in an escape room.
Oh,
and
okay.
you have to. You understand?
Yeah,
and
don't worry.
Clues you have to solve in the escape room.
We'll escape. Don't worry. We'll do a great job escaping.
I look worried momentarily.
Oh yeah, we're great at escape rooms. Official people have put us in them like 5 times this year, and we've escaped every time.
Oh, how have you escaped? Would you mind?
Oh, well, you see, the escape rooms in this town, they have this one little weakness where if you where the bars aren't tightened all the way, so you can loosen them by hand, then put them back in place.
Ah, I see. And if the bars were tightened all the way, would that solve the problem?
Oh yes, I guess if they were to fix the bars, you couldn't do that anymore.
Ah, and would you perhaps tell me how long would it take to fix the bars? Do you think?
Oh, I mean, I'm not a bar technician. I don't know.
I'd say probably a few minutes.
Have the guards turned up yet?
Yeah, someone probably went out to go fetch the town guards as soon as these guys came in. So probably after about 5 minutes, they were able to arrive.
Oh, hello, guards. We have, well, I explain everything. I tell them the whole story. And you see, that is that's what's happened. And you remember, you need to tighten the bars or these fellows will get out of their escape room, which is their next activity. I shout over to them. Because obviously I'm having a conversation with the guard. Farren, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, I think you've done a pretty good job here.
Okay, that's fine, but why aren't they wearing the rest of their clothing? Did they
Oh,
come in like
don't worry,
that?
but they lost them. They lost their clothing. It's fine. It's
Did
all
they
good.
come
You
in
you
like
have
that?
clothing, right? At the prison, you have clothing. Yeah.
I just like to
Great.
imagine that like a pant leg is sticking out of your bag or something.
Oh, those are just my spare clothes. Don't worry about those.
But that's a
Anyway,
lot.
we'll be on our way.
Oh,
Okay then. Good luck with that.
Thank
I
you
turn
for your
back to
service.
the innkeeper and ask, how much would it be for a stay this evening at your inn?
Let's see now. Probably usually about 3 silver a night. But it sounds like it's kind of urgent that you take care of whatever's been going on, huh?
Aye, it is, to be fair.
Are you saying that if we rest up here, then we might miss some bandits coming in?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible, and especially considering the festival of Frostmas is tomorrow.
Mm.
Tomorrow.
Yep.
Is there an official in the town we could talk to?
There's the mayor.
The mayor. That would be useful to talk to him. Where does he live? Just down the road?
Oh yeah, but he lives actually just across the street from the tavern.
Oh,
Of course
how
he does.
convenient. Yes,
Perfect way to the mayor to live.
Yep.
quite right. And I don't suppose you have a warm jacket I could put on there, do you at all, sir?
Just a sec. He goes into a back room and comes out with comes out with one. Here, someone left this in here a couple months ago.
Oh, thank you. I'll make sure to return it just in case you have any other needy customers later on.
Also, I'm pretty sure that's not a blood stain in there.
Oh, I'm sure not. Kind of taking it and just praying and ignoring it.
Okay. So yeah, you guys want to go across the road?
Yes.
Well,
Wait, hang on. What time is it? He might not really want to be disturbed at this hour.
it's probably it's pretty late at night now.
And you sure it's
And
not a
if
good
tomorrow
idea to
we
rest
want to
up
do
for the rest of the
afternoon.
night?
What?
Well, I guess, yeah.
We should go across.
We
Okay.
should get across.
You knock on the door. All right, I'll get you the money. Just give me my daughter back. And he opens the door.
Oh, no, we're not your daughter. They've taken your daughter, sir. We're here from the crown to solve your problem.
Oh, thank goodness. And this man looks at the two of you and says, "Oh, you've got to help us. These bandits, they're taking over the town."
I can see.
Well, So we've heard they have a camp just up the road. Do you recommend we have a wander that way and see what we can do?
Yes, please go up there. You've got to help us out.
Did they say
Well-
they'd taken your daughter?
Yes,
What's her name?
her name's Angelica.
Angelica. Does she have a sister called Peggy?
I feel like you're making a joke at my expense, but I don't get it.
No, not at all, sir. Now, is there any tips or recommendations you have before us as the Crown servants head up and have a wonderful chat to this Mr. Scrinch?
Be careful not to freeze. That's important.
Aye, pretty cold at this time of year.
No, and in the middle of the night as well.
Indeed.
He warns you, traveling through these mountains. You have to be careful, though. Giants and dragons have been spotted up here.
Oh, how lovely.
And then I sort of look quite excited. Not in the sexual way, but I look excited nonetheless.
So, yeah, hopefully you'll be able to see one. And hopefully you don't see it too close.
Well, yes, I was just about to say.
I sort of look as if I don't know what to do with myself. I'm kind of just looking up, looking down, looking around, whistling, hands in my pockets. Do I have pockets? Of course I have pockets in Farren, Munro. Yeah.
Yep. If I had to guess, they're probably held up, at the old fortress.
I whisper to Jake, this just keeps getting better and better.
Well, yes, it does seem to for you. Where's the fortress located, Mr. Mayor?
Let's see now. Just a couple miles north of town. You'll have to go off the main trail a little bit.
Nothing we can't do?
Yep.
Well, yes. Minus the cold and the fact that I don't really want to trudge through it. But yes, it's nothing we can't do.
Remember, we have the reindeer.
Yeah,
Yes, we have the reindeer.
Yeah, before these villages were built, that fortress was first made for the settlers that were living up here to keep them safe from, orcish raiding parties and the like.
Oh, of course. We got orcs, we've got giants, we've got dragons. Here, I thought we were just here to look at some bandits.
Oh, you probably won't run into the dragon, probably.
Probably.
You underestimate this kind of landscape, I feel.
Well, just try not to do anything to attract its attention.
Oh, of course not. We don't want to attract the
like
dragon.
picking a fight with bandits. That one attracts the dragon's attention. No.
Nope. Okay, then.
So, are we, Farren, ready to go on our long journey? I say it's long, it's probably quite short, up to the bandit camp.
I mean, we might be, but I'm not sure about your the reindeer I'm meant to be looking after. He's not looking too great.
Well, he fully healed the reindeer with a spell.
Yeah, patched him up.
Oh, he's probably just tired then.
Tis but a flesh wound.
'Tis but a flesh wound. Well, especially it's a flesh wound now. All this snow.
I think he's probably got enough rest. I think he'll be able to make it 2 miles.
Yeah, what about me? Alright, let's get going.
You've got alcohol in your belly and you've just made some bandits happy.
Well, yes. I fear that will perhaps go badly in future. They'll definitely not come out of nowhere and ambush us.
No, of course not. It'll be their friends instead.
Oh, yes. With that, I get back on the reindeer and set off.
Yep, you guys set off into the night.
And wish him a good night, and also do the same.
Yep. So yeah, you guys head off on your reindeer into the night, and after a few miles, you notice that the trail branches off. To the north, continuing the way you're going, a sign says that leads to the village of Falkret. But to the east, the sign points, leads to Spire's Fort.
Well, Spire's Fort seems to be the direction we want to go.
I think that'll probably be the best route. Let's go
Unless
that
we
way.
want to pick up any intel at the local, at the next town.
Possibly.
I don't know, it seems awfully tempting. But then again, I just want to beat this scrinch man over the head, and there's nothing like a bit of an old-fashioned fight to get the blood flowing and, well, the Eldritch blasting. If I stand from a distance, you can get up close and personal, eh? How about that?
Sounds good to me, but how do we know that at the next town there's going to be a tavern open or something? It seems to me that it's the hour where everyone's going to be asleep.
Yes, perhaps you just get onto the fort and bash this man over the head.
What's the time, Dungeon Master?
Probably 11 at night.
Oh, that's fine. Wait, how far away is the town?
The sign does not say.
Oh, damn.
Do we see any light on the horizon?
No.
Yeah.
Not to the
I think
snow.
we should just head to the fort, Farren.
I think that'll probably be wise.
Okay.
God knows what we've missed, but anyway.
And so you carry on towards this other path, and after a while, as you make your way through the cold, wind-blown foothills, you happen upon a very large frozen creature covered in ice.
Are you
Is
going
this
to
creature
investigate crocodile?
moving,
What?
or is it just frozen?
If you're gonna look at it, it seems to be pretty dead. Seems to. Oh,
Farren, are you going to investigate? Because
Yeah.
I don't know how useful I'll be.
I guess I'll investigate.
Yeah, it looks humanoid in nature, but it's very large.
Right, I'm
Like
gonna
a frozen giant.
investigate.
Please do.
Go ahead and roll plus
I guess.
nature.
15.
Yeah, with a 15, this seems to be something like maybe an orc or an ogre. You're not really sure which. And
And it's definitely dead.
it's definitely dead, and it seems to be frozen over. But you also do notice that it still has a hefty sack nearby.
Investigate the sack.
The sack is frozen shut.
Oh no, I can't do that, can I? It's still snowing, right?
Yes.
Damn. Otherwise, I've lit a torch.
You could just bash it open.
Yeah, you can try
It's
to
frozen.
Good
it.
try.
try to cut into it.
I prefer using a hammer for this sort of job. Unfortunately, I don't have one on me. I will have to use the great sword, I guess. But I will use Dragonbane, not the great sword that.
Yeah, so you want to use your.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Maybe
you want to use.
using the warming sword is a good idea because the warming sword's warming.
Yeah, so you have an axe, right? An axe and a sword.
I have a great sword and a sword.
Oh. Yeah, the one that the god gave you is also a great sword.
Yeah, okay. In that case, I have 2 great swords and a sword, and 4 javelins.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, originally I got given a great sword and a sword and 4 javelins, but now I also have another great sword which was given to me by Greer.
Yep.
I'm carrying a lot of weaponry.
Yeah, if you want, you can just use one of your swords to just sort of slash into this sack.
I'm going to use the short sword that I never use and is pretty much useless apart from jobs like this.
Yeah, go ahead and roll plus strength.
Oh, God. 7.
Yeah, with a 7, it takes a little while, and you can tell that this probably isn't very good for the sword's integrity, but you are able to chip into it.
Oh, great.
And inside, you find some very useful items. An old rusty dwarven helm, 2 halves of a splinter wooden shield, a tumbleweed, 2 red bottles that seem to be a potion, a crumbled up cowboy hat, and a sackcloth doll.
All right.
Jake, I feel like you should take the cowboy hat.
So we got a cowboy hat.
Yep.
We got 2 red
Dwarven helm.
potions.
2 times potion. Can I investigate the potions?
They're labeled as health potions in Elven.
No. Is there any way I can confirm this, or they are definitely health potions?
I mean, they definitely look like it, but you don't know for
Oh,
certain.
well. And then there's the cowboy hat. No, we got that. The doll.
Yep.
And what else? So the cowboy hat, the dwarven helm, 2 times potions, doll, 2 half shields.
And tumbleweed.
Does the tumbleweed have a face in it?
No.
No.
Damn!
Am I missing something here?
No,
no,
probably
of
not.
course not.
Is this a British thing?
There was a film with a face with a tumbleweed in it, Keanu Reeves.
Oh.
Well, in that case, who's going to take those?
I mean, I already have a healing potion on me, which, to be fair, I could have given the reindeer earlier, but yeah,
Let's save one of my spells. In that case, I'll nick all of it.
cool. Yeah, I don't think there's anything there I particularly want. I
Okay.
mean, the cowboy hat would be cool.
I mean,
I
we
don't
can
think it
always
really
kind of-
suits Farren.
Trade it with one another, but
Oh, yeah, exactly.
but for the moment, I'll carry it in my bag.
Okay. So you guys are gonna keep going then?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not.
Now the snow and clouds partially obscure a stone fortress situated on top of an ice spur of a jagged, snow-covered crest that you assume to be the fort, and a narrow winding path corkscrews up the mountain to this structure, and it appears to be the only safe way to reach it on land.
We're still on the reindeers, aren't
Yes.
the reindeer, aren't we?
Yes.
Can I do a perception check to see whether there's anything else to see whether it's what it says it is?
You can roll investigation.
Investigation, yeah. 11. That's useless. Tim?
Yeah, you do a quick look around, and you realize that either your options are fly up there or take the path.
Fly up there. Reindeer. No. Right, I could do a perception check or investigation check if you really want.
Hey, why not? What have you got to lose?
Yeah, nothing. Apart from my dignity. 8.
Yeah.
I have realised it was 11 plus 6.
Ah, that might change things.
I don't know whether it does change anything, but...
No, not really. I mean, you don't suddenly notice like a secret elevator or something.
All right,
Yeah,
then.
I don't think there's any point in this. Let's just... the real question is, do we dismount from the reindeer seeing as the path is narrow?
I was going to
I mean-
say dismount, tie them up, and then head up
Well,
on
it's
foot.
wide enough for you to be able to ride the reindeer up there. It's not too narrow. It's just that
No,
you would
It's
have
more
to go
about
in.
not getting the reindeer killed.
Yeah, you would just.
Yes, the reindeer will get killed by the bandits. We're definitely leaving them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if
Tie
they
them up
die of
to a tree.
exposure?
Oh, flip.
A
Is there a
reindeer.
cave nearby?
A what?
A cave.
Not one that either of you noticed.
Oh,
Maybe we should ride the reindeer up and just we'll deal with it when we get up there.
yeah, no, that's fair. We might find some better places up there.
Looking at
Alternatively, I go back and get the frozen sack and cover the reindeer in that.
I'm pretty sure that'll
That'll
do
just
more
won't work.
harm than good.
No.
Looking up at the path, looking up at the fortress, I turn to you and I say, "So, how do we want to approach this, dear friend?"
I say, I mean, to be fair, we're riding reindeer, so we can't really go for the stealthy approach because they're big animals.
Right. So, face on.
I think we should just walk in casually and see what happens.
Okay.
Working casually, see what happens. So, not weapons out straight away, but perhaps a bit
No,
of
no.
bit of the old, you know what?
Aye. It'll still surprise them, but it won't
Yes.
make them panic and possibly draw out their crossbows and
Well.
start shooting at us.
You keep your mouth shut, Farren, until you need to
Aye.
swing your sword
Well.
around, and I'll see what I can do from the old performance. I'm telling you that it's
Indeed.
probably not going to work, is it?
It's gone
Has.
successfully so far, so
That it has.
it might still be all right.
Well, shall we take a ride?
Indeed, a ride up Snowy Peak, or
Ride
whatever
up
the hell
Snowy
the hell's called.
Which one of you? Okay, so you're gonna have to travel in a single file line. Which one of you's going first?
If I'm behind Tim, can I still shout past him?
Yes.
Farren,
Right.
why don't you go first? You know, just in case anything goes wrong.
Aye, well, off we go.
Plus, if anything goes wrong, I've got the old Eldritch Blast. I can sit back a long way and zap them off.
Oh, I do have a shield, because I have armor and a shield, so I have a shield, that'll work. So I hold out my shield. Oh, I have it ready, I don't hold it out. And I walk...
Are you bearing the shield?
The ear mounted, yeah.
Well, as soon as you begin to bear the shield, you suddenly feel kind of cold again.
Oh, flip. It's funny that I'm suddenly cold again when I wasn't cold before I got the sword. But after I got the sword, even though I'm still wearing the same clothes, I feel cold after.
Farren, you look chilly. What's happening?
I mean, you were cold on your trek up the mountains for a while until you got the sword. Then it sort of stopped affecting you. I just presumed that you guys knew that you would feel cold because I described the environment as snowy.
Wearing a winter cloak. I didn't know that.
I mean, it's not like you're still dressed for winter, so it's not like you're gonna instantly freeze, but like you suddenly feel like the chill back on your face.
Oh, okay, that's fine then. As long as I'm not, I don't know, dying from
Yeah,
exposure
yeah,
or
no,
pneumonia.
it's not like you're, it's not like you're suddenly getting hit with the brunt of a blizzard or anything. But you do.
Right. Okay,
My
cool.
point is that it's a noticeable change.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Farren, you look cold.
There's definitely not something right with this weather.
Is it anything to do with that sword?
I think it is. I think the enchantment's wearing off when I don't use it.
Didn't your old pal, the god Grainer, Grayer,
Grayer.
that's the one. Didn't your old pal say that that sword's the only protection you'll need?
He did. That's
He did.
true. However, he did say I'd have to call him if I needed protection. It's not an immediate thing.
Ah, I see. Ah, that's useful. You've got him on the old carrier pigeon call. That's
Indeed.
useful. You know, I was trying to talk to a woman a while back over carrier pigeon. It was she kept just lefting me on scent. Now, shall we go?
It's annoying. It's annoying when they don't reply to you by
Yes.
pigeon immediately.
Yes, it is. Shall we go?
Aye.
Okay. So yeah, this is a winding trail that goes around and up the mountainside towards this fortress.
Right.
And
Great.
after traveling, you eventually come across what appears to be an entrance.
Is there anyone nearby? Anything we can see, kind of naturally?
Nope, the trail ends at the outer door of what appears to be a gatehouse.
Well, is there enough room for us to go side by side here?
Not, yes, it does open up a bit here to the entrance.
Well,
Yeah.
Farren, how would you like to do the old knockily-loo? I mean, you know what they say. Knock on the front door.
I'm a bit out of practice. I normally hammer on the door, but yeah, I'll knock on the door.
Nice and politely now.
Yeah, it shakes off some of the snow from the door, but there's no response.
How about you try some of that old hammering technique?
Yep, no one responds to your knocks. Are you trying to break down the door?
No, I'm just hammering it.
Yeah, no.
Is there any way through other than the door?
Not that you can see. You can try opening it.
I shout, "Open up!"
You hear a horse's neigh from the other side.
Can we? What happens if I open the door?
The door opens.
Is it locked? Oh, the door opens. So I try and open kind of both doors so we get a nice wide view.
Yep, and it opens up into what appears to be the stables.
Stables, and is there anyone around?
What you see 4 saddled riding horses inside. In stalls.
Are there any empty stalls?
Yes, there's 2 empty stalls.
Oh, that's convenient. Farren, why don't we?
Indeed.
So we hitch up the reindeer in the stalls and close the door behind us.
Yes, and then from in there, there's a door that leads further into the fortress.
I whispered to Jake, "I think we should take the stealthy approach now."
Stealthy approach. I'm going to go to the door and try and wait. Tim, what's the stealth modifier?
Good question. It is +1.
I got +2. All right, I'll do it. I try and stealthily open the door.
Okay, actually, more specifically, when you start poking around here, what's the best way to describe it? Okay, so from the stables, it opens up to the left, which then leads to one door, and then to the right, there's a bit of a small hallway where there's 3 doors, one on the left, one in front of you, and one to the right.
Which one looks like the main door? Or they're all just doors?
Yeah, so basically at the end of the stable area, there's kind of 2 doors to the left, one to the right, and then one down.
Farren, which door should we try?
What were the options again? One to the left.
Yeah, okay, so basically the way the stable works is that you're able to come down past the stalls. Then once you turn to the left, there's a bit of a hallway that goes downwards a bit.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like, the stable is one rectangle, and then there's another rectangle attached to the bottom left corner of that.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so then on that second rectangle, there's 2 doors on the left, 1 door on the right, and 1 door at the bottom.
I say we go for the door on the right.
Okay.
Let's go second that. Can I stealthily open the door?
Yes, if you want, you can slowly open it up.
I slowly open it up.
And this seems to contain a couple of wooden barrels and crates.
Well, let's
Small
try the
room.
first door on the left.
First door on the left
Hang on,
opens up.
are we going to search the barrels and crates first?
I mean, what's in the... actually, that's a fair shout. Let's go and search the barrels and the crates.
Yeah, the first barrel that you open up, it just sort of falls apart and it's empty. Seems to be very old wood.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. And the second one?
Yeah, same thing. Seems to be that no one's used this room in a long time. The wood's very brittle and old.
Oh, lovely.
Right.
Well, first door on the left then, shall we?
Yes.
That opens up to a staircase.
Can we open the second door on the left as well, just for the options?
Okay, so that opens up into what appears to be a smithy area. An anvil rests on the floor near a fireplace that appears to have not been lit in years. And to the other side of the hearth is a bellows so old, that appears to be very old and rusty. And then there's also a series of various tools and horseshoes scattered around the floor.
Are there any exits to that room?
Just the one you come through.
Well, I'll pull the door closed behind me. And what's the door at the end of the hall?
This one opens up into what appears to be some sort of barracks. There are wood cots that lie about in heaps against the wall, leaving a space in the middle, where there seems to be several bedrolls and various items of gear.
Anyone in there?
Yes, there are, and there do seem to be some young men in there playing cards, and they all look at you when you open up.
Oh, don't mind us. We're just here for to see Mr. Squidge. We've got a business proposition. Would you mind pointing us in his direction?
Hey, wait a minute. Something
Tim's
seems up.
internet stole Tefford.
Oh. Something seems up about you guys.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. We're definitely here persuading you that we are businessmen, and I got a 2. No, fuck.
Yeah, they are not buying this. They all stand up.
Are there any other exits to the room they're in?
Nope.
How many of them are there?
There's 3 of them, and they all seem to be a bit more put together than the guys who sit at the bar. They all reach for swords.
Are they in cover at all, or are they out in the open?
Out in the open.
Oh, I've got a Song of Rest. That
That-
sounds useful.
That's used during short rests.
Short rests, I see.
Okay. Let's see.
Maybe you could do an intimidation based on your strength.
Could do.
Just to kind of charge in there going, "Urgh."
Yeah, roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it.
I make an intimidating roar at them.
Yeah. Are you proficient with the intimidation skill?
I've got +4.
What's your charisma modifier?
+5.
Okay, tell you what. Make me an intimidation-based Make me a strength-based intimidation check. So I want you to add your strength modifier, and if you're proficient in intimidation, you can also add your proficiency bonus.
Okay. 20.
I'm guessing that's not a natural,
That's not a natural 20, no.
but no, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, with a 20, you just come in, I guess swords blazing.
Oh, hang on, I'm joining, I believe.
You can't actually use your great swords with one hand, but you can probably still just hold them just for the effect. Yeah, so I just like to imagine you just rushed in there with one great sword in each hand.
Yes, that would probably be how I do things. Although great swords are heavy, so...
Yeah, so you can't maintain this for very long, but with a 20 for that check, I'm going to say that you can at least do it for the short term.
Okay.
So yeah, they're all going to drop their scimitars.
Yeah! Wow.
Well, as they're doing, are they kind of just surrendering or what?
Yeah, they look up at him terrified.
I guess. Do we have the rope back?
How much of it did you use to tie up those other guys?
I mean, I didn't use the full 65 feet, but I used about, I don't know, 30 feet.
Okay, so then I guess you still have 35 feet left.
Okay, cool. I will just change that now. Right. So did you say they were doing anything, or are they just dropped their swords in pure terror?
Yeah, they just dropped their swords in terror.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, what do we do now? I wasn't expecting it to go this well.
Maybe tie them up with the rope.
Yeah, I guess. I'm going to use a lot of rope in this, I can tell, just tying up bandits.
Are you going to do anything with these bandits, or just leave them there?
Question them.
You don't necessarily need to tie them up for that.
No, true.
Can I go over to their to them and fish into their right pockets where they keep their knives, as their friend said was a whatever their name boy's idea.
Scritch boys.
Yeah, and Nick take their knives
Yeah,
and
you
chuck
can
their
go ahead and
knives
do
into
that.
the fire. Not that will do anything, but they can't go get the knives. Oh,
Yeah.
and the scimitars. Remove the scimitars as well.
Yeah, they dropped the scimitars. Yeah, I guess the first one sort of lets you take his knife. But while you're doing that, the other two try to slip out of the room. Well, unless Farren, are you standing in the doorway?
No, because I've rushed in. I've rushed in all intimidating. I haven't just roared. I've rushed in.
So two of them are going to try to dart out.
I turn round and shout, "Wait!" Oh,
Yeah,
do I
they're
have
gonna
do
keep going.
Intimidation thing? Oh, they're going to keep going.
And
Yep.
maybe try and grab them.
You've got one, at least.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the fuckers.
Yes, that's what I was just going to say. Eldritch Blast them.
Okay,
One being
tell you what, go ahead
each.
and roll plus... Yeah, go ahead and make, what's that term? Combat order rolls. Initiative checks. Initiative rolls.
Initiative. 11 plus 1.
Farren?
Oh, sorry. This is 20-sided, right?
Yes.
Cool. Initiative, yeah. Right. 18.
Yeah, Farron's gonna go first.
Right. What are we doing again? Trying to stop these guys?
Yeah, they just slipped... Yeah,
They're
they just
slipping
slipped out of the
away, and we're
room
trying to
into the stable area. What do you want to do?
Let's see. I don't know about grabbing them because they might try and fight back. And I can't really do anything Eldritch Blast wise. So,
You can tackle one.
I could do what? Sorry.
You could tackle one.
Oh yeah, true. All right, I tackle one.
Roll plus make an athletics check.
$12.
Yeah, sorry. He got a 16 with his acrobatics to avoid you.
Damn.
But
He's a nifty bandit.
you do have this counts as an attack, and you do have extra attack since you're a level 5 barbarian.
So I double tackle him. I go up, dive on the ground, jump up again, dive again.
Well, yeah, because you missed him the first time, so you probably just slammed against the wall.
14.
Ooh, this time he got a natural 20.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he's able to slip clean away from your grasp, and he runs up the stairs.
God damn.
Yeah, so those two guys managed to escape, but you still have the third guy. Jake, what do you want to do?
Is he engaging fighting with us, or is he just still there?
Yeah, you were able to disarm him, so he's not going to bother trying to attack you.
Well, I guess I draw the sword of the smiley face and poke him into the stables, and we can tie him up there.
We
Or
can hold
tie
him
him up
hostage.
here.
Actually, no, his boss won't care about him.
Or we lock him in the storage cupboard.
Yeah,
I feel that's cruel. I feel like he will just starve to death because nobody will remember he's there.
Can I knock him out?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Hit him with
guess
the pommel
go
of the
ahead and
sword?
make an attack roll. You
What was
just
that,
get hit
sorry?
with the blunt side of your sword.
Sorry, could you repeat that? A roll and attack roll.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah, go ahead and roll
Minus
damage. Non-lethal damage.
Is that D4, D10?
That's going to be normal damage, non-lethal.
4 plus. I don't think it is anything, is it? Just 4.
Well, it's plus your
Yeah, it's just 4.
charisma modifier.
Oh, yes, so it is. 4 plus 5.
Yeah, with a 9.
Oh, 4 plus 8. Because I'm proficient in it,
No,
aren't
but
I?
you don't add proficiency to damage rolls.
You don't add proficiency.
No.
No, it's plus 5. 4 plus 5, 9.
Yeah, that he's seems pretty stunned, but he's still holding up. What was that for? He's gonna try to punch at you. Yeah, but he misses. Just goes like right next to your face.
Oh, lovely.
Tim, Farren, want to knock him out?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, you just want to punch him or something?
Yeah, I will. Yes.
Yeah, just go ahead and make a regular attack roll then.
Cool. 21.
Yeah, with a 21, yeah, even with your minimum damage output, it would be enough to knock him out. So yeah, you just walk up and punch this guy and he falls to the ground.
Nice.
I turn to you, Farren, and say, well then, shall we follow the others, seeing as that's all gone tits up?
I say, aye, let's.
Well, in that case, we head up the stairs.
Yep. So you guys head up the stairs, and this leads to another floor, and there seems to be a door on the other side. This floor seems to mostly be empty.
Mostly empty. Is there anything we should know?
Nothing that you can see.
And if I roll a perception check?
Yeah, you can try to roll perception.
19.
With
Plus any perception plus 1. 19 plus 1.
Okay. So with that, you do notice you notice that there seems to be a bit of a set of footprints that disappear halfway through the room.
Yeah. Halfway through the room.
Yep.
Can I grab one of my spider eyes and throw it halfway through the room?
You throw it halfway through, and it seems to disappear.
Well, that answers that question. Okay, with my sword kind of, I kind of sheath the smiley face to get Elvish blood kind of crackling in my hand. I turn to Farren and say, well then, you ready?
I draw. I don't know whether to draw Dragonbane now or the sword that Greya gave me. Probably, I'd say, seeing as a god gave me that sword, I should probably use it. So I unsheath whatever the name of the sword Greya has, and turn to you and say, "Ready as ever."
And I step through the halfway point in the room.
He seems to disappear.
I step after him because I'm stupid.
You also disappear. Well, from
Yeah.
Jake's perspective, you're still there, but you're invisible.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I thought we committed suicide there as a.
Oh, so we're still in the room, you're just invisible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, bugger. That means
Is there
they're
anything
invisible.
in the room?
You suddenly hear someone yell, "Hiya!" Oh, missed you.
Well, what do you think? We're invisible, aren't we? And I move after saying that. That's kind of silently as I can.
Yeah, well, my 20 super strong friends and I are gonna beat you up.
There aren't 20 of you. Prove it to me. Step out. Show me your strength. What? You're not going to step out? Are you a chicken? Are you chickening?
Oh, no, missed you again.
Is there any way I can try and hit him?
If you want, you heard where his voice was coming from.
Yeah, I'm going to grab Sword of the Smiley Face and just swing in his direction.
Yeah, you're gonna have disadvantage on the attack roll.
Thought as much.
I had a thought then that maybe because I have 3 hunting traps, I could set up a hunting trap, but then they'd see where the hunting trap was and it'd be completely stupid.
Or it's
So
invisible.
no, I'm not going to do that.
Well, remember, everything
invisible.
turned invisible.
Yeah, I got 2 natural ones on that.
Yep, that... Wait, you rolled 2 ones in a row?
For the disadvantage.
Yep, well, in that case, you feel the sword fly from your hands.
Oh, plugger.
It does land on the visible side of the room, though.
Okay, that's alright. I don't have to
That's not necessarily good.
Okay. Next up. Yeah, so now, I'm just gonna use those same initiative rolls as last time.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Farren, your turn.
I can't see these guys.
Just attack him with disadvantage, I guess.
No, I've got it. I take out the rope and throw it out into the room, into the invisible half of the room.
You're just gonna
So
throw
I sort
it?
of throw it almost like I was trying to, like I'm using a baseball bat. I just sort of let it fly out into the room,
Just
like a whip, kind of.
Just anywhere?
Yeah, I want to see what I hit.
Roll me percentile dice, I guess.
Okay. What am I using for that?
That's D100s.
Yeah, no, found it.
Yes, the fancy D10s, yeah.
70.
Yeah, with a 70, you hear someone exclaim, What was that? What'd you just hit me with?"
See, I was hoping that the rope would reveal where they were, because it would just, like, I don't know, hit against them and then fall down, and then I'd know, but...
I mean, the rope is also invisible.
Oh, flip, yeah.
See, this is why Jake acts as the intelligent one.
Yeah, okay, I reel the rope in somewhat awkwardly. Yeah, I'm at a loss, really.
Attack with disadvantage, just trying to attack with a voice force.
I'm gonna say throwing that rope was probably your action then.
Rip.
So now it's gonna be one of the bandits' turns. Runs out of the invisibility field and picks up the sword of the smiley face.
Oh, damn, yeah.
Oh, naughty boy.
And so then he tries to run back over and attack you with it.
What, Jake, I'm assuming?
Yep. He does miss, though. Yeah. Then Farren, you hear someone run up next to you, but doesn't make contact.
I duck. It is my turn. I don't think it is.
Well, now it's going to be Jake's turn.
Can I step out of the invisible side of the room?
Yes.
Distance myself as much as I can from that line, so swords won't be able to hit me.
Yes.
And can I ready myself? Is that a thing I can do?
Yes, you can ready an action.
Can I? Does that mean I can act at any point? How does that work?
You basically come up with an action, then set a condition for it. So, like, you ready an Eldritch Blast for when someone leaves the invisibility field.
That's exactly what I want to do. I want to ready 2 Eldritch Blast, ready to blast someone.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, got you. Solid. Waiting for someone to come out.
He's ambush,
Now, Farren.
but not ambush.
Now, what's Farren doing?
Yeah, I guess I should just swing at something and... Well, no, swing at the guy next to me. He stopped next to me. Because I'm ducked down... I ducked down at the moment.
Go for it.
And I slash at the legs next to me where I heard the sound. Well, I'm assuming his legs. Might not be.
Yep, roll with disadvantage. Or... Wait. Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll. And if you want, you can rage.
Oh, can only use rage once, if I'm correct.
You have 3 rages per day.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Because I can't see anything, so I may as well go into a rage.
Yep.
I can't remember what that does, apart from...
Well, the relevant thing is that you get a +2 to damage. Yeah, to attack rolls.
Right. Was that with disadvantage, did you say?
Yes.
6.
6 total?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna miss. Okay, now Jake, I believe it's your turn. Oh no, wait, you already said nothing. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that case, a guy's gonna run out of the invisibility field holding your sword, which I guess triggers your condition.
Yes, it does. Roll 2d20.
Yeah, make an attack roll.
Yeah. But I don't need to do it at disadvantage.
No, because he's visible now.
17 and a 10 on each of those, plus my proficiency, isn't it? So +8.
Yep. Yeah, roll damage.
Obviously. And that's 2d10, right?
Yep.
1 for each blast. 1 adds 1 and 4, and does each one add my charisma modifier too, or not?
No.
No. So that's 5 total.
Okay. But it is his turn, so he's gonna run forward and swing your sword at you. Does a 12 beat your armor class?
I have 13 armor class.
So no. He's like, what's going on with this thing?
If I can, I smile at him and say, "Uses your charisma, you stone-faced dick."
Yeah. And Farren, someone manages to stab you for 4 damage.
Okay, cool.
Oof.
But now it should be Jake's turn, right? Right, because those two went. Yes.
If you're right next to me, does that mean I roll with advantage on my Eldritch Blast or not?
No, it's just gonna be a normal attack.
I'm just gonna think if there's anything else I want to do, or whether no. Although I do have a rapier and a dagger, I may as well just Eldritch Blast him with 2 beams.
Yep.
So I do. I'm going to roll D2d20. 13 and an 18 plus 8 each.
Yep. So sounds like
And
yeah, that
11
hits.
total, 3 and 8.
Yeah, you just disintegrate this guy.
Can I pick up my sword?
Yep.
Yeah. I pick it up, I almost smell it and kiss it and sheath it.
Now, Farren, it's your turn.
Right. Yeah, I guess I can't unless. No, I join Jake in the open. I think. I
Okay.
did that. Yeah. The only problem is I cannot do anything then.
You could
Oh
really
no,
travel.
no! Actually, no. As I'm running back, I set one of the hunting traps down, near the line. Not actually on the line, because they'd be visible, but just behind the line.
Okay. Yep. So you just drop this invisible trap.
Would I be able to collect the trap after it's been used, or is it just
If
used?
you can find it.
Oh yeah, shit. I know where I put it. I know where I put it. It's fine.
Yep. So yeah, this guy's gonna roll. Is gonna run after you. I'm gonna give him a 50. Since he's going directly after you, I'm gonna give him a 50% chance of hitting the trap.
50%. This trap's massive.
Yes, but what if he goes the other way?
Oh, true.
Okay, luckily for you, he does trigger it.
Hooray!
Ooh.
It's a bear trap as well, so it's just going to climb around his.
Well, he has to
His
make a
leg.
dexterity saving throw, which he does pass.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, this guy just suddenly appears visible, and you guys hear the sound of a trap snapping shut.
Damn it!
Yep.
These bandits are far too dexterous.
And that guy just looks at you. Oh, hey. I'm just gonna go now, if that's okay.
And I say, no, it's not.
He holds his hands up. Come on. We have no quarrel.
Who's
You're a
whose
bandit.
turn is
If you're
it?
a bandit, you have a quarrel with me. Now, shut up.
Can I just Eldritch Blast him silently?
So much Eldritch Blast.
Are you guys gonna try to knock this guy unconscious as well? Okay.
Yeah,
Might
why
worth
not? Jake, do you want to go first, or?
Yeah, I grab the pommel of the sword of smiley face and bop him in the head.
Yep.
What do I
Make
need
an
to roll?
attack.
1d20, right?
Yep.
15 minus 1.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And then 1d10 non-lethal.
Yep.
6.
Yep. Now it's his turn, and he's going to draw forth his sword and try to attack you with it.
Lovely.
Okay, he got a 16 overall.
Got you.
And he hits you for 3 slashing damage.
Ooh, 3 flashing.
Yep.
Anything I need to worry about that?
Not yet. Farren, what are you doing?
I'm going to. Fuck it. I'll rush at this guy with the greatsword.
Oh, are you trying to kill him?
Yeah, why not? I don't care if I knock it. I just hate the guy.
Okay.
I'm Farren
Attack.
Munro.
Make an attack roll. Roll damage.
Oh, that was close. 8.
Plus or 8 total.
That's 8 total.
Oh yeah, that misses. Just the axe goes right over his head.
Damn it.
Okay, now Jake, back to you.
Is there any? Yeah. I look at him. I say, I was trying to be non-lethal, sir. You asked for this. Eldritch Blast.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, we've given up with the whole knocking
Yeah.
out thing now. This guy deserves to die.
Yeah, go for it.
6 and an 8 plus 8.
Yeah, those are both gonna
One
hit.
of those. Yep. 3 and 7. 10 total.
Yeah, you eviscerate this dude as well.
I turn to Farren and say, he stole my sword. Well, he didn't, but his friend did, and goodness me, they're just as bad as one another.
So, yep,
I
this
guess.
guy's... Yep, so he's also dead.
Any other bandits? Bandit turn?
Not that you know of, but... There's the door at the end of the hall. Or at the edge of this room.
Farren, go and collect your trap.
I collect my trap because I need that trap. I only have 3.
Yeah, you're able to reclaim it just fine.
Well then,
Shall
we proceed through the invisible again to the door?
I think we should rush it in case there's anyone waiting. We should just rush the door.
After you.
I rush.
Yep, you rush through, and it opens up to another set of stairs.
Is
So
Farren invisible again, or is he still invisible?
Yeah, once you step through to that staircase, you turn invisible.
I follow them, I guess.
Yep. And you guys go up to the next room?
Why
Yes.
not?
So this one opens up to a room that's mostly similar to the other, but this time the door's in the center of the room, and it appears to look like a face.
A fake door.
A face.
A face.
A face.
So the door's at the centre of the room, did you say? Like a sort of column and there's a door.
Oh, no. The center of the wall is what I mean, instead of in a corner.
Oh, I see. So is this face made out of stone, or is it just a massive human face? Or
Looks like stone.
fleshy face? Looks like stone. Does it resemble anything, anyone that we know of?
No one in particular.
Right. I say, state your business.
To progress, you must answer my questions.
Well, of course. What would you like to ask us, face on the wall?
You can see me in water, but I am never wet. What am I?
Water. A fish. Piss.
Fish, is that your answer?
Farren
No,
actually
I
thinks
think we've got to think about this a bit more carefully.
Yes. Well, what is in water and is never wet? I feel like a fish isn't wet.
Well, normally the answer is a towel, but that's what gets wet. What gets wet the more it dries, and that was a towel. But this is a different one.
Well, yes, Farren, it is a different one.
So what was it? What's in water but never gets wet?
You can see me in water, but I am never wet. What am I?
I do believe it's a fish, because a fish, being wet is contextual. If a fish is outside of water, well,
It's
like
still
your hand,
wet.
if you dip your hand in water and then take it out, it's wet, whereas a fish stays in water, so it is never wet.
Is this your answer then? A fish?
Give us a second. It might be.
This is Farren's thinking face door. It's
It
it's
is.
a very thick, heavy set thinking face. You know,
Yeah.
there's no intelligence behind those eyes, behind those thick set brows. At this point, I kind of just sit down on the on the floor, just to stretch my legs. Well, Farren,
Ice.
heights.
Ice. ICE.
Ice.
Is this your answer? Ice?
I think is a fish.
It probably is fish.
Hey, Crumb's razor. Hey, Farren. If one thinks it's a fish, then probably, sir, it is a fish. Yes.
We'll go with fish then.
You say Thitch is your answer? Warrior with the
Yes.
swords?
Aye.
That is false! And I'm gonna need you to make a
Oh,
wisdom
okay.
saving throw.
Oh, what? Sorry.
Farren has to make a wisdom saving throw because he provided the wrong answer.
I rolled a natural 20.
Yeah, with a natural
did.
20, you're only gonna
Oh, he
take
did.
2 psychic damage.
Right. Sorry, how much damage?
Yeah, so a high pitched sound resonates from this creature's mouth, and you take 2 psychic damage.
Right.
Would you like a different question?
Well, we'd like to get through, but I do believe you want us to answer the question, so please continue.
Would you like to continue with this question, or shall I provide another?
Oh, goodness me. Provide another. We can always go back. You know, like an exam, sir.
I
Like exams the elven youth have to do.
EdXL, that is your name.
beg pardon?
EdXL, that is your name.
Is this the answer you wish to provide to my question?
No, it is not. I was
Very
just
well.
stating your name, or what I believe to be your name.
But very well then. I am so fragile that if you speak my name, I am broken. What am I?
Trust. Truth.
Trust. Is this your answer, bud?
No.
Right. Say that again, big face with stony stuff.
I am so fragile that if you speak my name, I break. What am I?
Silence.
Is this
Ah,
your
yes.
answer?
Silence is the answer.
Is silence your answer?
Yes, it is.
That is correct.
Ah, well done.
Congratulations. 2 questions remain before you may pass.
Oh,
Oh,
lovely.
what the hell?
Which
You
one's
said
the
there's
next
only one question to start with, big stony face.
I said you must answer my questions.
You said question.
Is this your answer?
No, never mind. Carry on.
The more you take away from me, the larger I get. What am I?
Goodness me. A hole.
Whole. Is this your answer?
Yes.
That is correct.
2 down.
We're
1 to
getting
go.
better at these riddles.
I still think the answer was a fish, to be honest, but at
Yeah,
last
probably.
he does not agree.
Well, seeing as we didn't pick ice, it could have been ice, but I doubt that.
When I eat, I grow. When I drink, I die. What am I?
A slag pit.
Beg
This is
pardon?
That's not the answer. Hang on.
It alas is not the answer. Oh, door on the wall. But at least it is
A vague
Ah.
attempt.
answer. The fish question. No, Yes, the water question.
Would you
Is
like
it a
to?
bubble?
Would you like to go back to that other question?
Is it a bubble?
Is that your answer to the question?
No, it is not, because I don't think it is a bubble.
Well, it's not a bubble. What's the one about the eating then, Farren? Do you have any clue on that one?
What was it again? The more I eat, the more I grow.
When I eat, I grow. When I drink, I die. What am I?
A teenager?
A teenager.
My only thought at the moment,
Is
Jake,
this your
is
answer?
drought, and that's about it.
No, it is not my answer. Door.
When I eat, I grow. When I drink, I die. Can we have another question?
If you wish, I can give you the old question again. You can see me
No.
in water, but I am never wet.
Reflection.
Is this your answer? Reflection?
Yes.
That is
reflection.
correct.
Hurrah.
Oh, well done.
And the door opens up, and celebratory music plays.
For 1023, I am pretty happy with my answers.
Ding, 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 ding.
I proceed through the door.
And this leads to another set of stairs.
I proceed up the stairs.
Okay. Very good.
I do the same.
And in this next room, and then this leads up to another one of these rooms. This one, you don't see any door, but you do see a stone inscription on a wall.
What does it read?
In Elvish, it says, "Speak, friend, and enter."
I say friend in Elvish.
A door appears.
You
and
just took
opens
that
up.
from Lord of the Rings. Admit
Yes.
it now.
Has the door
Oh,
appeared?
dear.
Yeah. A door appears and opens up.
I look at Farren. Well then, darling, what can I say? And walk through your door. Kind
I'd
of
just like to
strutting a
imagine
little
that.
bit, you know.
Wait, can we just say that you were just reading that out loud, and when you got to the word "friend," it just automatically opened? Take that, Gandalf.
Yeah.
Yep, leads to another set of stairs.
Yeah.
And when you come up to this room, you see an old man sitting on what appears to be a throne.
Ah, hello there, sir. Are you Burganizer Scrooge? Yes. No.
My name.
Smooth, I whispered, Jake.
Your
My
name?
name is Burganizer Scrinch.
That's the one, Burganizer Scrinch. Well, it is a pleasure to meet you, Burganizer Scrinch. I am a reporter from the Daily Echo.
It is of no pleasure of mine to meet you.
Well, it soon should be, because I want to write an exclusive article about you. How about that, sir?
Your commoner's newspaper is of no concern to me.
Oh, it's not a commoner's newspaper, it's an Elvish newspaper. There's a difference.
Why are you here? Please cease bothering me.
Well, sir, I will give you an ultimatum. I will only cease bothering you if you cease bothering the people of Northern, Foulseret, and Holcoat. If you cease disrupting the festivals of the Midspring Frost. Goodness me, I can't even remember what it's called anymore.
Midfrostmas,
That's the one.
is the one we chose.
Those people and their foolish festivals, and their frivolities and their loud sounds, and their refusal to pay my bills.
Your bills? Oh,
I've
I'm terribly
instituted
sorry,
fair
sir, but that's
taxes
called
on their
extortion
land.
and blackmail.
I've
And
I've
Farren blurts out, right, cut the crap, old man, just tell us where the presents are, and then I draw the sword and point it at him. Can I do intimidation?
And he sees you draw the sword and says, "Very well, then, if you wish for it to
Oh,
be this
no.
way." He snaps his fingers and the windows open. Just give it a second. Sometimes these guys take a little while.
Well,
I sort of turn to Jake with a very tired expression on my face.
I ready an Eldritch a blast for each window.
And then
If I
soaring
can.
in, from each window are several winged creatures that appear to be made out of ice.
What if I only had some fire?
The torch, the tinderbox. I can use this. Can we do attacks?
My minions, attack them. And let's get into battle.
Initiative.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just use your same initiatives from before.
Okay.
Yep, Farren, looks like you're still going first.
Okay. I light one of the torches using the tinderbox and throw it at one of the iced minions.
Can you do that with an action?
I don't know.
I think it would take longer to
I don't
start a
think-
fire.
Okay, I just light one of the torches and wave it in front of me then.
Yeah, it takes a, let's see, no. Well, using it to light a torch is, apparently only takes an action, but it would be your full action.
Oh. You see, I think fire would be very useful here.
Do you get 2 actions as a barbarian?
I do.
No,
But no, I
just
get
two
2 attacks.
Yeah, it would have to specifically be an attack.
Got you.
Oh, okay, so if I... no. Okay, yeah, I guess I should light a torch. I think I'll light a torch. Just want to see what happens.
Okay, so yeah, you're just gonna be holding the torch then?
Yeah, and waving it in front of me like a sword. But not enough that it blows out. That would be embarrassing. Can't do that.
So next it's gonna be Jake's turn.
Wonderful. All right. How many creatures are there?
There are 6 of these creatures.
Oh, there are 6. Alrighty then. Let's go. Target me 1. I'll Eldritch Blast it
Okay.
with 2 beams. 15 and a 6. Both with +8.
Yep, those both hit.
And I get 2 ones
For damage.
for the damage.
So then 2 damage.
Lovely.
Going to... Yeah, so 3 of them are going to attack Farren, 3 of them are going to attack Jake.
Bring it on!
So yeah, 3 of them fly first towards Farren. And... only 1 of them hits you.
Oh yeah! Does he hit me back?
So then you first take 3 slashing damage. And then 1 cold damage. But it feels like, you know, the cold damage you're doing at... Wait, did you put away your shield?
Yes. I didn't even have my shield out, ever.
Yeah. In that case, if you don't have your
I
shield
don't-
out, then, you know, the cold damage feels like it's not as strong as it would have been. You feel like you're resisting the cold. And now the other 3 are going to swarm at Jake.
I'm going to go for a drink whilst that is happening. I don't mean a drink down the pub. I will be back shortly.
Okay, 2 of them make contact. Yikes. 1 of them got max damage.
Lovely.
Slashes into you for 5 slashing damage and 4 cold damage.
All right.
And the other one, luckily does a lot less. It's only going to be 2 slashing damage and 3 cold damage.
So that's 5 damage total.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's he looking?
He's down to 14 out of 31.
Yes, and the old man's just going to watch. It's just watching this happen. And now it's Farren's turn.
Lovely. Healing is an action in it.
Yeah, if you want to drink the healing potion or cast a spell on yourself, yes.
How much do the potions heal you?
You'll find out when you drink it.
I guess we will.
Okay, so now it's Farren's turn. Farren.
What happened?
A bunch of these things descended on Jake and really beat him up.
Oh, shit.
And some descended on you but didn't beat you up as much.
I know that bit. It was Jake's bit.
Yep, but now it's your turn.
Right, okay. Let's see. Oh, I have the torch. Does the torch have any effect on them, seeing as they're near me?
Doesn't seem to.
Right. Can I poke them with with the torch as one of my attacks?
Yeah, if you want, you can try to you can make an attack with it.
Yeah, I will. I'll make an attack.
Yeah, so first make the regular attack roll.
14.
Okay, that hits. Now, this is basically just a fiery, unarmed, improvised attack. So, it's going to be 1 for the base damage plus your strength modifier. So what's your strength mod?
+3.
So yeah, this will just do a fixed 4 fire damage, but they are weak to fire damage.
Oh.
So yeah, you just thrust this torch forward, and it really seems to melt this guy. He's not looking good. What do you want to do for your second attack?
I do it again. Like the
Okay.
evil bastard I am.
Make the attack roll.
Cool. 18.
Yeah, that hits. And yeah, same thing. Yeah, you're just able to basically just kill this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna bring us to Jake.
A healing word.
Oh, you're gonna heal yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Go for it.
All right. What's the? Let me have a quick look.
And
So it's
1d4 plus your charisma modifier.
1d4 plus charisma.
Yep.
So it's just +5.
So yeah, roll a d4.
A 4.
Oh yeah,
9.
so you heal back for 9 health.
Something at least.
Yep. So now these guys are going to descend on you all again. Good thing you killed off 2 of them. Oh, good thing you killed off 1 of them, Farren. So only 2 of them can attack you.
Cool. I guess I'm attacking, yes.
Yeah, 1 of them misses.
Right.
The other one
Yeah,
does hit.
same thing.
So.
Same thing with the torch,
Well,
I
no,
guess.
no, it's their turn.
Oh. Did they do 2 damage, did you say?
Let's see now. The first one hits you for a total of 2 slashing damage and 1 cold damage.
Right. Yeah.
And the other one missed. Now 3 are attacking Jake.
Yeah.
Don't worry, one of them got a natural 20.
That's not good. Is it too late to pass Jake my one healing potion?
I have 2 healing potions. And a couple of spells
Yeah,
still
so
left.
then these things descend on you for a total of 14 damage.
Oh, 40 damage, you say?
Yep.
That's crippling.
But
Yep.
now it's Farren's turn.
Right. Can I go after the ones on Jake, seeing as they appear to be doing more damage than the ones attacking me?
Well, if you leave this area, then that'll give them opportunity attacks.
Oh, okay. Can I? No, actually, I can't really do that. Unless I try distracting them with some scones, I don't think I can do much.
No.
Would this be a good time to call in assistance?
Oh, yes, you might be right.
Helpline
I've
with
got
the
no
gods.
idea about that. Even though I'm the one wielding the sword, I haven't really used the sword that much. It's either been
It
fire
might be
or
worth
another
using the sword. It feels like it might be a good time to use the sword.
Right, okay, I call on Grey.
Yeah, okay, and suddenly you get cloaked in an aura of hail and snow. This grants you 10 temporary hit points,
Right,
and while these hit points remain, you get a +1 to your armor class,
nice.
and something else that you'll see soon.
Oh,
But it's still your
Right.
turn, by the way. Activating that was a bonus action.
cool.
But remember, this is a great sword, so in order to have drawn this thing, you had to put down the torch.
Oh, okay, which probably meant the torch went out, right?
Yep.
Okay, well, is picking up the torch, and actually, I'll do that later. That's completely ridiculous.
I mean, you're already holding a pretty good weapon.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say pick it up so I don't forget about it, but I will remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I slash these guys with the sword, or one
Yep,
of them with the sword.
Make the first attack.
21.
Yep, that hits. Now, roll damage.
It's 2d6. Is it 2d6 with that greatsword? Because I've got it written down as my greatsword
Yes.
as 2d6.
Yes, great swords do 2d6 plus strength.
11.
Yeah, you just you just slash straight through this first one, and it falls apart in midair. Then the two halves hit the ground and shatter, and you still
Nice.
have your extra attack.
Oh yeah, I'm doing this again with the other guy. He's going to get made into mince meat, or ice cubes, rather. Right, another attack. Oh, well, that was a bit dubious, but oh well.
What?
That's 13.
Yep, a 13 does hit.
Cool. 2d6. 2.
2 damage.
2 damage.
Oh, plus your strength modifier.
Oh, plus my strength. Yeah, that's 5 then.
Yeah, so this one's not as good, but you're still able to knock off part of its body. Now it's Jake's turn.
I'm going to drink one of the healing potions.
Okay.
See what happens.
Give me a second. Yep. So. Just a second. You heal back. Yeah. So you just drink this thing down, and you feel a sense of warmth flow throughout your body, and you recover 7 health. And,
Not too bad.
And drinking health potions specifically is a bonus action.
That surprises me. I would have thought it would have been a normal action.
Drinking regular potions is a full action, I believe, but I think health potions in particular are just a bonus action.
In that case, I'm just using a spell as well to heal myself even more. Another healing word.
How many spell slots do you... Oh, yeah. You probably
I've
should.
got 4 spell slots. I've used 2 so far. I'm going to use another one.
Okay, go for it.
There's another healing word, which is 1d4 plus
Yep.
5. So that's 6 health.
Yep. Plus, yeah, so you're healing yourself back up.
Yeah.
Well, now these things are going to
stay
go.
alive.
So now, there's one left over near Farren. And this thing, it just opens its mouth and exhales a cone of cold air. You're going to need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Ten.
Yeah. Okay, so... Got too many of these open. Oh, it looks like 10 was just enough. So you only take 4 cold damage, but you resist it, so you really only take 2.
Okay.
So yeah, you just holding the sword in hand, like just duck out of the way. Like a little bit hits your side, but even that you're able to absorb most of it. Now
Nice.
3 are gonna attack your bard friend.
Yay! I mean, so far through this, I've been doing all right until this final boss fight, where I've just been trying to stay alive.
Yeah.
Staying alive.
So you take 6 slashing damage as these rip into your body, and then once their claws are in you, you just feel their innate coldness, and you take an extra 7 cold damage. So that's 11 total. Oh wait, sorry, that's not 11. That's 13 total.
13.
Yeah.
Yay!
So this is just
How
a
much
zero-sum
health
game
take,
right now.
by the way?
And the old man crackles with laughter.
Shoot him a glance.
Okay.
How much health do you have, Jake?
9.
But now
Nice,
it's Farron's turn.
Right. I guess I better sort out this last guy, and then I can go and help Jake properly. Unless I can throw him a healing potion, but I don't know how many he has left. I can't really help him at the moment. How many healing potions do you have left, Jake?
Oh, I've got a healing potion left.
Did you have... Oh, you took both
I think
of
you'll
them?
survive this one round, surely.
I took both.
Well, there's only
Yeah,
one...
I'll survive.
Yeah,
I'll
well,
use my final spell slot and everything.
yeah, I mean,
I've
only...
got at least 7, 8, 9. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Farren, you've got one left over near you, so you could potentially down this thing, then run over and help Jake.
Yeah, I might do that then.
So yeah,
Using the sword, using the great sword that Greyer has given me on this last hideous hobgoblin.
method or whatever.
Natural 20.
Roll 46
Oh yeah.
plus strength.
This is going to be impressive. $15.
Yeah, you just shatter this thing.
Oh yeah, kabang. Right, then I run over to help Jake. I have a feeling that we should have tried attacking the old guy, and then maybe his minions would have just disintegrated instantly and we didn't have to do all this.
But you've got one attack left. You want to use it against one of these?
Oh, okay, so I've moved over, have I, and I can still attack?
Yeah, you can if you want. Yeah. This room is
Okay,
not too big.
yeah, I'll attack one of the hobgoblin things attacking Jake.
Okay.
I don't know which one. How many are left?
There's 3 left, but he damaged one of them.
Okay. Yeah, I just probably attack the... Do I attack the damaged one, or do I attack another one of them that hasn't been damaged?
You kind of, instead of knocking down their health, you just want to kill one outright, probably.
All right,
At
yeah,
this
kill the
stage,
guy
too.
that's already injured,
Damaged.
Okay.
or attack the guy that's already injured. That's 23.
Nice. Roll damage.
8. Oh no, hang on. 11.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so first you shatter that one guy, then you just run over, stab this one in the back, and kill it. Oh, by the way, since you guys are now standing on opposite sides of the enemies, you're flanking them, and you have advantage on your attack rolls now.
Nice.
Now it's Jake's turn.
So I need to make a decision now whether... No, I can use my bonus action and still attack. Okay, I'm going to heal 7 health points with that final potion.
Well, you have to drink the potion first.
Well, yes, I'm going to drink the potion.
And this time you heal back to 6 plus 8 health.
8 health. Oh, that's even better.
Yep.
That's got me about halfway. So hopefully I'll survive another attack. And I'm going to Eldritch Blast each one separately with my advantage.
Okay, make the first attack.
8 plus Charisma 8, which is
Yeah, that
16.
hits. Roll damage.
And it's just the 1 damage, so 1d10.
Yep.
2 damage, yay!
And make the other attack roll.
14 plus 8,
Yep, that hits.
with 9 damage.
Oh, nice. So yeah, you're able to blast both of these. You don't kill either of them, but that second attack was a good one. You blast off a lot of its icy essence. Now these things are going to go. And they are both... And one of them is... Yeah, one of them's going to turn and face Farren, try to scratch at him. It misses horribly and hysterically. The second one is going to try to use that ice breath attack on Jake. So go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw. So I've got save plus 1, and it's a d20, isn't it?
Yes.
6 plus 1, 7.
Yeah. You just get blasted for 3 ice damage. Now
To be honest, that's not the worst.
Now it's Farron's turn.
I attack one of these things with the greatsword.
Go, roll it.
That's 25.
That hits. Roll damage.
Eight. 11. I did it again.
Yep. You kill one of them, and you want to attack the other?
Yeah. Unless Jake wants to finish.
No, please go ahead.
Right. Okay. Time for finishing. Oh. 20. That wasn't a natural 20, though.
Yep. Roll damage.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah, you just hold your sword overhead, bring it down on this thing, splitting it cleanly in two, and the two halves fall to the ground, shattering into a fine mist, sparkling you both in its dying beauty. And the old man says, okay, don't want any trouble. If you go back downstairs to the stables, there's a barn right outside where I hid all the presents.
I turn to the old man and say, well, sir, I can do you one better. How about you show us?
Okay. Oh, by the way, aren't you guys also looking for someone?
Oh, yeah. It's funny you mention that. Where's Angelica?
All right. And he waves his hand, and a door appears behind him. He opens it up, and there's a teenage girl in there.
I kind of walk in, kind of using all my charisma just to kind of comfort her
Who
as
are
best
you?
I can. Hi, my name is Jake Actor. I was sent by your father, the mayor, to rescue you from this
All right, let's get
evil
out of here.
creature. What was that story?
Let's get out of here then.
Let's do
Yes,
that. Wow.
I agree.
Farren, would you kindly escort our guests down to the back room?
It will be my pleasure.
Yep. So you guys are gonna go down?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys climb back down through the tower, past Puzzle Guy, past the invisibility room, make it down to the stables, and he takes you outside a little bit and then around to the back where there's a barn. Alright, in there.
So I push open the doors and see what's inside.
So you look around, and you definitely see a bunch of, boxes and packages, all strewn around. And, you also notice that there seems to be a red sled, or, no, a red sleigh in the corner of the barn.
Yes, there is. I look at Farren and say, well, how would you like to stack the presents on the old sled? Maybe you can pull it with that red nose mitten that I talked about earlier.
Or you could use the reindeer.
I choose that option, thank you, DM. And yes, I go get the reindeer and hook them up to the sleigh and fill it with presents. Whilst I'm doing all this, I'm muttering to myself, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm actually Father Christmas.
Because
take off the
just
warm
a
jacket
reminder,
I'm wearing.
Canonically, Farren is from our world, and he slipped through like a
He is.
space-time vortex or something. And wound
Yeah,
up
that's
here.
exactly how I got there.
Yep.
Lovely. So I take off the warm jacket I was given and put it around the shoulders of Angelica and
Oh.
guide her over to the sled, sitting her down.
Thank you. And
You're
Farren,
very welcome.
as you're going through the various packages, you notice that they all have names on them. But you also notice, hanging on a hook in the barn, there seems to be this red robe with white trim. That's just sort of hanging
No.
there.
No, you're not serious.
You don't have to wear it, but you can.
I'll wear it. Of course I'll wear it.
And the old man says, "Hey, wait, that's my good robe. Don't put that on."
Oh my gosh, I've just made the connection.
I walk over to the old man, grab the pommel of my sword, and attempt to knock him out.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not even going to make you guys roll for this. You're out of combat. You've got enough time to do this right. You just dramatically walk over and just knock him out.
You just knocked Father Christmas out, the actual Father Christmas.
Oh no, this is like Scrooge.
And
Scrooge.
evil.
Yeah, this
Uh,
guy's
but
I
name.
am
he's
Father
Scrooge.
Christmas.
This guy's name
Yeah,
is
so
a
I grab
three-part.
Prince's body and shove it on the cart, on the sled.
Yeah. By the way, this guy's name was a three-part combination of Bergmeister Burgerstein. No, Bergmeister Meisterburger. That was it.
Yes.
Ebenezer Scrooge and the Grinch.
Lovely.
Yeah, I got the Grinch and the Scrooge references.
Yep. So yeah, you guys are able to load up your cart.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you get the reindeer all hitched up, and you begin to ride back through the night to the village.
Did you say
And
we
you
have
realize
the old
now-
I
army
sing
play as
a
well?
jaunty song called
Farren Munro's coming to town.
Jangle Sounds in the Night. Jangle
Yes.
sounds in the night.
And you
Jangle sounds in the
realize-
night. Jangle sounds in the night. Jangle all the way.
Okay. You realize that, with the time that you've spent, it's probably been about an hour since you left the village, when you realized that it was around 11. So it's now midnight, as you guys sail back into it, with your reindeer and on your sleigh, and you're moving rather quickly, and in the wind and snow, so it's kind of hard to see you. But there's a boy in the village who is looking out through his window, and he sees you guys approach, and although no one would ever believe him, he begins to see it's almost as if you guys were floating off the ground a little bit. But that can't be, he tells to himself.
Father Christmas. We are Father Christmas.
And you guys
are
come
Father
into the
Christmas.
village,
I'm just
and
here for the ride.
you're greeted by the mayor. And soon that tavern keep comes out, and pretty soon all the village inhabitants are coming out of their houses to greet you.
I say, ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. Except I say, Merry
Frostmas.
Mid-Frostmas.
And you know what? That feels like a good way to end this session.
Wonderful.
Beautiful. I am Father Christmas at the end of that, except I'm Father Mid-Frostmas now. I better
No,
write
you're
that down.
Farren
I
Father
Frostmas.
recognise as Mid
Farren Frostmas.
Frostmas.
Well, everyone, I really hope you enjoyed this specialty Christmas-themed session. I've been your host and Dungeon Master, Drew, and I've been joined by...
Farren Munro.
Farren Munro. Farren Munro.
And...
Farren Munro. Jake Actor, the delightful bard who is terrible at combat once he gets hit a bit hard. With a shard of ice flowing through the sky and a ho 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 from a Farren Munro.
Merry Christmas, everyone, and thank you for joining me. Bye!